What is up, everybody? I'm trying to multi-stream today, so there are some technical differences um, that I'm working with right now. So bear with me for a few minutes as I start the stream. But as you're filtering in, I mean nobody's here yet. As you're filtering in, please use this early time to ask me questions. Because once I get going, once I get playing, I'm not going to be able to talk as much. But actually, I did say that I did plan with Ryan LaPlante to start a couple of games right at this time. So $10 sit and go, and there he is. Um, and then also, I think we said 100 no limit. So I'm gonna sit there as well. Switch to the two table view, and yeah, I guess by the time that you all are chatting on a short delay, I will. Seems like whatever. I'll be into some games, and hopefully we'll figure this out. From my end, I'm 40 seconds from going live because I'm on a delay. So 40 seconds from being live. And at that point, I just have to check that it's actually working with the settings I'm going with. Meanwhile, let's see if I see any chat. Sometimes the chat starts before I get there because, well, the event is live. All right, cool. So I think now we're live somewhere. Let me see if did it kick it live on YouTube without me having to do anything? It did. Okay. So that's a plus compared to what usually happens. All right, so that's about it for the technical stuff. I'm gonna send out a tweet. So yeah, hopefully you all will be filtering in shortly. Here's what I'll do. Copy link. But yeah, come on in, chat with me. We are starting this 100 no limit game. So join us in 100 no limit. We had what did we get up to? 40 some players playing 100 no limit just in Pennsylvania last night here on BetRivers, which I was excited about. I'm gonna fold 5 offsuit, call with 6-8. And against the big bet, I'm actually just going to lay this down. There are a lot of straight draws present and a lot of flush draws too. I guess it's probably supposed to be a call, but for some reason I just shouldn't go with Spidey senses. Big question, is there a way to pop this chat out? I'm talking to myself. You don't need to answer that. Um, I'm going to figure it out, you guys. Move this over maybe. Fold, raise. I guess I'm just going to move this down here so I can see the chat. How do you pronounce Kaoz? Cows? One? Welcome and what's up? Good to see you. Moonlight Master, good to see you as always. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping out. King Queen offsuit. I'm just going to rip this in. Uh-oh. It looks like thanks fate. So on Twitch, I still have the Rio Poker panels below. Oh, we did bust this pretty quickly. Let's observe for a little bit, see if Ryan takes it down. before joining another. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to fix that right now, but that's great to know. Tomorrow, I will take a look at that. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow, but I will be streaming Friday and Sunday and Monday. Finally, kind of figured out the stream schedule. So I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit. Let me know if you could hear the sounds from the game and if it was annoying. We got this player limping the button. I usually mark that right away. Grams, grass, and mowers. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Since Full Tilt Under, where's the big games online? Um, Depends where you are. Unfortunately, a lot of the big games have gone private, and many have gone unregulated on sites where you can deposit with Bitcoin, and the sites are not following the like regulations of you can play from. Well, the sites are letting you play from lots of different jurisdictions. Um, but as far as sites that are regulated in some markets, Um, seems like the biggest games are on GG these days. PokerStars has some big games. Um, I don't know if they do in the US, but rest of world. I know some high stakes games go on there. Tom asks, "Hey Phil, thanks for putting up this stream. I'm venturing back into being a pro after over a decade away. I was an MTTer, now I want to focus on cash games. Any advice you can give?" Yeah, let me start, Tom, by asking, why do you want to focus on cash games? That's just a curiosity I have, but it's interesting when somebody comes from hey, I was doing this, now I want to do this instead. Sometimes kind of checking in with those motivations, I think, are useful. AOZ, why does everybody have hard names to pronounce so far? You're very welcome. Thanks for being here and watching the stream. Um, I'll start to give you some advice while I wait for that answer. I think that when you say venturing back into being a pro, what that implies to me is that you're already playing, somewhat seriously as a semi-professional now, um, or serious recreational player, and so you're not just coming in cold off the street and playing some cash games. I'm also going to assume you're playing No Limit, but I would say start by learning from other people. So what do I mean by that? I mean there are a lot of solver tools and available now. I would not start there. I mean you can use them at the same time, but coming back in, you're going to really speed up your learning if you have a study group, if you are watching a course that is dedicated to the type of to cash game format, if that's what you want to do, and or if you have a coach. Um, or if not a study group, peers to learn with. But catching back up if you're doing it totally on your own, I think is just wasteful, like a waste of time. So I would definitely encourage you to invest a little bit of either money or time or both into finding some good resources to learn from and with. By the way, for No Limit Cash Games, I wouldn't say this stream is one because I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm mostly talking to you guys. 10-9 normally makes a pretty good barreling hand. However, I'm going to do it, but I'm not thrilled because I did bet a little bigger on the flop. So usually you fold out the air hands that you're hoping to fold out on the turn. At least when you're up against somebody who's not as strong. And somebody strong knows to fold, 60 some percent of their range to overbet on the turn. Here, we're just going to pot it. I know that I all in would make a lot of sense, but I think this has the best, risk reward ratio, likelihood of getting called compared to amount of money that I get when I'm called. Whereas when I overbet, I think this player might pause and think twice, although they didn't do a lot of pausing. They had 5-4, so too loose of a call pre. Flop seems fine, turn seems good, river seems fine, probably good. Yeah, not a bad play. And now they shove 20 big blinds. I'm going to fold the 5-3. Should I give them action? No. No. I was going to chat just to be friendly, but they might take it as a needle. Um, AOZ Ausnez, let's call it. It's Ausnez. So I find it hard to think you've never played PLO 5 before. Was that not a thing back in the day? Did the game come out later? I assume they always had Big O. No, I mean, five card PLO high definitely was not a thing. Um, Back in the day, that just didn't run anywhere online. Five card PLO high low didn't run online either for most of my career, or at least the first half. And it didn't, yeah, it just didn't like it would show up in mixed games, obviously all in with aces against King 8. Um, Nice hand. Pleased with that. I like if you watch the streams the last couple of days, I keep well, not keep, but I've been winning. Yesterday I kept winning and I didn't want to. But yeah, it just wasn't like my the first um 8 years of my career was, almost all the volume I put in was online. And they didn't have the game online. I wasn't playing. All right, let's try another one of these. All right, so 9-7. This was a three-way pot, so his betting range is going to be a little bit tighter here than it would be in a heads up, or a lot bit tighter maybe than it would be in a heads up pot. I'm gonna peel this 9-7. We got 9-7 everywhere. Nice river here. So for him to bet the flop and check the turn, I think he's unlikely to have a hand that can call unless he rivered an 8, which he might value bet. The question is, do I raise now? I think I do. Here with Jack 10 suited. Got 120 in the pot. We have 410 to call. We need. Yeah, fours make sense. We need. I don't think we have enough equity. I don't think we have enough equity. Against this limp, I'm tempted to ISO, but ace 6 off is pretty bad, so I'm just gonna limp on in. And now the chat's really going. Thank you all for chatting. I enjoy the company. Gets a little lonely out here on the internet by myself. Do I still have contact with Sauce123? I mean, I have his contact information, but we haven't talked in a few years now, at least. Falling out. We just, are not doing the same things, or yeah, I don't know. I hope he's doing well. Joshua Davis asks, "Hey Phil, what drew you to the game of PLO enough to make it your main game over say No Limit Hold'em?" It was kind of an accident. What happened was I was playing exclusively No Limit Hold'em cash, and then the game started to die. I was playing nosebleeds, like 200, 400, 300, 600, and the games. There used to be a lot of action. There was fewer and fewer games running regularly, and what was really popping off was 200, 400 PLO, and I hadn't learned it, and I was like, well, these games look pretty good. I know I don't really know what I'm doing, but see here as we shove here with King Jack against the raise and call. Not a bad spot to get into a flip with some overlay, but we do not win, and unless we end up with the glitch prize here, we are gonna get. Oh my! Wow. So we bought in for $10. We busted out in third place, and we won $50. That's the beauty of the glitch. Don't tell them that it glitched like this. I'm gonna observe for now. Actually, I want to keep it 50. I'm really soaking this in. I've won the glitch a couple of times. I've played maybe, I don't know, 15 of these, 20. and I've won a glitch prize twice, both at $5 sit and goes. The other two times it was $1.25. So this is the first time, 5x my buy-in for losing, which is awesome. This is an innovation that we came up with. Um, the idea is basically so when you're looking at a poker ecosystem, for a winning player, winning players tend to want lower variance and higher win rates, of course. But so they take their win rate, and then the ratio of their win rate to the variance means how frequently they win, how infrequently they go on downswings, and so on and so forth. So if you're a winning player, you tend to want to have lower variance. We have cube sit and goes, which are the higher variance format compared to classic sit and goes. Now, sit and go select is what we created so that you can play the same people who are playing cube sit and goes, and people who are playing classic sit and goes with no randomness like this beyond the actual poker itself, are actually playing together. So it's possible. I mean, I know that Ryan is playing a cubed one as well, but this guy Max, he might be playing a classic sit and go. And if he's playing now, okay, the flip side of what I was talking about is if you're a losing player, you actually want more variance, because if you're a losing player with no variance, you're always going to lose. If you're a losing player with very little variance, you're going to lose very frequently, and you're not going to have many fun winning experiences. So what we did, in addition to allowing these two player pools to combine into one, so that players can get their big gamble of a lottery sit and go, which is what cubed is. You might have seen spin and goes. It's similar to that. We added an extra rake-free amount to the buy-in. So the buy-in to this was $10. If I had played the classic version, it'd be $9. And this extra $1 is unraked and goes into this essentially pure gamble that is the glitch prize. So realistically, the money that you're kind of gambling for in a cubed sit and go when you win is $27, because it's 3 times 9. And then there's the $1 on the side that you bought in for, that you just get this lottery spin when you lose. And usually it's nothing. Occasionally it's a small prize, and sometimes it's a big prize. Um, so that way we've introduced extra variance without extra loss rate, because this extra dollar buy-in has no loss rate associated with it. It's break even. And that makes the experience better for fish like me, when we can win $50 for losing. All right, let's play one more. So here, actually, if I saw this was Ryan, I would have started by betting. I would have maybe triple barreled this as a bluff. Against weaker players, I tend to not do that, but it makes a pretty good combo for it, I think. And I guess I'm just going to fold here. All right. More TBC. Good to see you. All right. So that was my explanation of that. Let's see what we. Oh, did I say? So PLO to no limit. Um, just to finish that thought, in case I didn't, I moved over because there was more action there. And then like those games ran for a long time, and the no limit games died down. So then I was just a PLO player for a while, and it just kind of stuck. But it wasn't really a choice. Hello Film 19. I need to earn 100K from poker. Do you think playing cash games is better than MTT? Personally, I do think playing cash games is. I mean, I don't have nearly enough information. I think playing cash games is better. Yes, lower variance than um, than MTTs certainly. So I'm just going to check my messages. Um, but it depends, and it depends on what's available to you. It's really good to see you more TBC. Bum, 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 bum. Grams, grass and mowers. Yesterday I kept losing and didn't want to. Yeah, yesterday I was winning. I didn't want to. I don't know if Ryan got into a sit and go before me here, but I'll just keep waiting. If you want to hop in, if you're in Pennsylvania, first of all, if you're in Pennsylvania and watching this and you haven't joined BetRivers Poker, what are you doing? And second of all, if you have joined, hop into a $10 sit and go with me. I'll probably try to play well, but it's been a minute since I played sit and go, so I won't play that well. Omaha Club asks if I can get a couple hours one-on-one coaching with me, trying to be the best regs and heads up reg wars 5, 10, 10, 20. Probably not. I don't really do coaching like that. If I did, it would be too expensive. But I do coaching. Well, I do group coaching, which is not strategy coaching like you're looking for with Heads Up PLO. Um, but if you, so I do some coaching called Beyond the Game, which is for high stakes poker players, both pro and recreational. Um, you can learn about it at Phil Galf. Wait, galfon.link/BTG stands for Beyond the Game, or just philgalfon.com and go to the Work with Me tab. But since I started doing that and people started emailing my support team, I did get some emails about one-on-one coaching and actually took on a couple of one-on-one coaching clients for very specific deals that probably will not that most people like. You have to be in a very specific circumstance. The fact that you're trying to beat, I mean, 10, 20 heads up, maybe it could end up making sense. So I'd encourage you to reach out to team at philgalfon.com and they'll forward it to me. Um, but don't have very high hopes. Levi asks, any advice for being a poker professional as a new father? I have a kid on the way in a few months. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, yeah, I've done it. It's not easy. I can tell you that much. But same is true of any profession. Um, it's really going to depend heavily on your partner and your partner's ability to be flexible, how your partner and you feel about hiring additional help, or if you have family in town who can help out. Because the main challenge with poker for most people is the hours. Not necessarily that it's so many hours of work, but it's that the hours tend to be specific and they tend to be late at night. So on the one hand, it's nice that you can be somewhat flexible, presumably because if you have a 9 to 5, you cannot be flexible. On the other, working late hours makes it challenging because at least in the first several months, there's there's not really a consistent sleep schedule to speak of anyway. But eventually, which this is going to be a good thing, when your son or daughter has a consistent sleep schedule, it's very often going to be one that has them waking up very early in the morning. And if you're going to help out, then you have to be available early in the morning, which means if you're playing super late at night, um, you know, that's not gonna be very conducive to that. So here we raise pre, we check down, we pot river, we get check raised. I'm I don't believe it. Well, I do believe it, but not enough to fold. I just think a lot of those hands would have bet the turn. Okay, 8-7. I thought 8-7 would bet the turn rather than go for the check raise most often. Okay, so let's see, where was I? Yeah, it's going to come down to making some agreements with your partner and figuring out, like, you have to make some structural decisions about when you want to play and how how you two are going to make it work. Um, and I think for me, what's been helpful is having kind of giving my wife hours that she can expect me to be available. I'm actually going to raise here. I think my hand is best. And if it's not, I have equity. Um, and he's going to have a lot of outs potentially. Really interesting river. Now I lose to a 5 and a 10. I don't know if I expect a ton of 10x. Let's 3-bet here. I think I'm just going to check. It's, yeah, like I win often, but to get called, it's trouble. Yeah, cool. Read that correctly on the turn. That's what I'm aiming for value against. Yeah, so what's worked for me is letting my wife know when she can expect me and when I'm kind of off limits. And during that time, I make it work with my poker schedule and or otherwise, work schedule. At the beginning, one thing we did was take shifts, like longer shifts, so that each other could sleep. I'm actually going to limp re-raise queen and 10 here. Fold over here. And got him. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm multitasking, but hopefully that was helpful. Oh, Omaha Club follows. I bought all your courses on Rio, by the way. Awesome. Awesome. I'm assuming that means you found them helpful. So I'm really happy to hear that. If you bought This is PLO, which is the PLO course, which involves a lot of heads up stuff, I'm assuming you did if you're aiming to be a heads up specialist. That is a lot of what I would teach you generally conceptually, even on like in a one-on-one situation. However, yeah, obviously I don't get to see your play, so can't adjust based on that. But if if we can't find an arrangement, which we probably that like I don't coach really one on one, but continuing to study that course I think will be really really beneficial as you navigate the heads up PLO streets. More TBC asked the question as I was answering it. Ryan LaPlante says best of luck. By the way, Ryan, if you are Ryan, feel free to throw your or maybe Moonlight Master. Could you throw Ryan's well, Moonlight Master and maybe more TVC. If you could throw the link to Ryan's channel, he's streaming as well. If you want to watch both of us, um, please go for it. Might be fun. Minus Skater said you won more than me. I beat you in both of those $10. Yeah, glitch prize is fun. Levi says I just got $25 for first and $10 cube. I should have got third. Yeah, usually it's going to work out better to get first. Um, Almost always, but occasionally, yeah. Third place is the way. You too fast for me, says Phil. Thank you very much for all the advice, tips, explanation, and wisdom throughout the years, man. You're an awesome person. Thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words, and you're very welcome. Thanks for wherever you've gotten my words of advice. Thank you for viewing or subscribing or buying or whatever the case may be. And I'm glad you got a lot out of it. Machine learning machine asks, do you need anything other than to be in Pennsylvania, located in Pennsylvania to play on the site? Um, and my master says 21 plus. Yeah, no utility bill or anything. You need to be located. You don't need to live. You don't need to be from Pennsylvania. You just need to be in Pennsylvania. I don't live in Pennsylvania. I'm in Pennsylvania right now on a trip to do this. You do. I mean, like most poker sites, you'll need to. I'm gonna check and probably check raise. Like most poker sites, you'll need to check raise again. Um, Verify your identification. You might have to send in some stuff. Who knows? So with King King and expecting that he would shove pre with aces, I think he either has a pair or he has, Jack high or worse. He's not going to call Jack high or worse. So let's see if I can get him to value bet a pair. And then the check raise becomes a little bit thin, but I still think it's a check raise. I mean, it's not that thin. It's a little thin because he's an absent two pair, like 7 deuce, 7-3. The reason I pointed out kings because King serves as blockers there. King high is a hand I might be targeting with the small bet, for example, or a big bet. But since I don't think he has ace high and I block half the king high, it's likely that he has a hand that can't call or a hand that can value bet. And so that makes a really good that's a really good opportunity to check and try to get value that way. Mm. Yeah, you'll need some ID, as Moonlight Master says. I guess we're calling deuces. And I think we're going to win. Oh, it's not over yet. Well, I missed my chance to say GG. How do I want to play this? I'm going to shove. Poker Down South says there's something I'm curious about that no one ever talks about. Everyone talks about poker net winnings. I want to know if you could add up all the pots you've lost in your life, not counting winning hands. What would be the total of your losing hands equal? Um, well, so in tournaments, people talk about kind of. Do I want to shove this? Sure. In tournaments, there's kind of like lifetime earnings, which is really just gross winnings, um, which is not an accurate measure of how much people are actually up. In cash games, people tend to talk about actual profit, so it is more legit in terms of an accurate measure. If I were to add up all the pots I lost, wow. Um, I mean, I don't know. It might be billions. It's a very hard thing to to guess. I haven't haven't thought along those lines. I say he's 10. I mean, he's betting so small that I feel like calling, but it might just mean he has a seven, or it might mean he has like 6-9. Um, so it's going to be interesting if he does that. I think this is really close. Actually, I think it's really close. Nice hand, Ryan. Nice hand. How do I look angry? I'm pretty rusty on combinatorics there. Um, I guess actually, so back in my day with 10 big blinds, you were just push or fold. Today, and that's 20 years ago. Today, there's limping, and this is probably a limping hand. But hey, we got it in 40%, and we lost. Komodo Dragon, good to see you. Komodo Dragon Jesus, and thank you for the congrats. Used to enjoy watching you play on this platform back in the day. So I mean, he's not supposed to have an ace very often. I think he probably like to bet here. I think he's gonna have a lot of 9x, but I can't fold and I can't. There's no money behind, so I got to go for it. Chris Dunn chips to big blinds is on the way very soon. Well, I shouldn't say very soon. On the way soon. It's on the planned feature list. Site looks good. Thank you. I wish I lived in a state that allows poker, not just sports betting. Yes, I want to get more of those states allowing poker. It's part of my. I was going to say part of my mission, but I'm not like actively doing a lot. There's not a lot I can do about it, but it is in my head, part of my mission. More TBC, yeah. So I mean, I haven't used Twitch in well since you were you know back when I was. So yeah, I don't have command set up. I just today set up the ability to. I wonder if this is supposed to be a limp. Let's limp call. I just today set up the ability to multi-stream because I don't know, I wanted to. We are ahead, we lose. Straight versus straight, cooler. Um, we're not going to win $50 glitch prizes every time. Wow, got our money back. Running hot, running hot with the glitch. Don't tell BetRivers about the glitch. Okay, let's play another. I want to open a cube though. I mean, the glitch prizes are fun, but I want to open a cube, which means I have to win. Um, Back to chat. You're welcome, machine learning. What does the lobby look like now? Good question. So if we had every cash games, we've got. It's not very active tonight. Last night it was doing pretty well, and Omaha's pretty dead. So right now, what is it? Wednesday, 5:32. This is seven of day seven of being live in Pennsylvania. It does seem that later in the night, more people are active. I guess people are coming home from work now at 5:30, and eating dinner, and then by seven they're playing a little more. I think we can check call with king high, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Could also check raise a hand like this, but you don't have a lot of room to play with these stacks. Grams, I played the WSOP main event. That's the only event I played this last year. I haven't really played World Series of Poker events for like 5 years. Like I've probably played five in 5 years. I just don't like them. Not that I don't like the WSOP or anything like that. I just don't like going to play poker tournaments. Not to yuck anybody's yum if you like that. I mean, tons of people love it and have tons of fun with it, and I completely respect that. I'm more of a sit at home, play heads up online, high stakes cash games. That's what gets me going. Okay, 3-5. Let's see a flop. Flop the nuts. Laz Poker says we're getting 60 players tonight. Let's get 60 at 100 NL. Ryan and I both streaming. Two fish you can come take money from. Hop on into 100 NL. We're at 9 players right now. I think we could probably and I can add tables later. So here we get check raise. The flop is super dry. I don't think we need to fast play anything. Obviously, we're never folding. For him to check raise, I do feel like we see a lot of like king seven. Okay, open ender, that makes sense. And here, what do we want to do? We'll raise a7 suited. We're gonna check this back. I might just have my like heads up PLO heuristics in my mind. Like if you have a club, you bet this flop and not without it. I mean that's an oversimplification, but that's kind of how I think of it. Welcome, welcome. We got more viewers coming in. Happy to see you. I really want, not for any ego related reasons, but I want some more viewership. I think on the one hand, people like to come watch a stream when I'm playing 100, 200, or uh, a huge tournament. I will be playing tournaments on Sunday here on BetRivers Poker. By the way, again, if you're in Pennsylvania and you're not playing on BetRivers Poker, what are you doing? If you are in Pennsylvania and you are on BetRivers Poker, or if you're not, the tournaments overlay a lot these days. At least last I checked. Here, check call, check raise seems pretty strong to me. I'm going to fold. Um, yeah, on Sunday, I don't think we have the tournaments showing. No, we don't. But I don't know. Just for an example, like tonight, the daily cent, which they call a $250 giveaway, it's because it costs 1 cent to enter. Right now we have 124 players. That's $1.24, and the prize pool is $250. Late registration for that ends in 21 minutes. So that's a really good opportunity to get in for 1 cent. There's also the $500 free roll. As you can see, currently there are 134 players paying 0 cents. That's $0 in the prize pool from them, and 500 in the prize pool as a free roll. And then, I mean, these other ones right now, we don't have any that are active yet, but every time I've looked, I've seen a lot of overlay. So tons of value here for tournament players, or if you're not a tournament player, just come get the value, get the overlay, get the free roll juice. Why not? Queen Jack with a heart and a heads up pot. I would never fold this three-way. It's a little. I feel like I maybe should, but I didn't. You ever done that? You're like, I should fold, I should fold, and then you click the call button. No, it's just me. Fold the turn. Nice hand. More TVCs and glitch graph through the roof. Yep. I crushed the glitches. I'm hoping to win this one outright and not need to resort to my glitch voodoo powers. My master would be so sick if Phil could regularly play on BetRivers in Nevada one day. I agree. That would be awesome. I keep checking down 5-3. Luke Forster asks, says, I know you've been probably very busy setting up a new poker room. Have you happened to catch any of Eddie V's streams? He's had a 1 million challenge on GG Poker. He's a beast and he's making content. He is a beast. I have not caught it. That's awesome to hear that he, yeah, him making content is great for the community. It's my fiercest competitor in the Galfond challenges, and from everything I can tell, seems to be an awesome guy. So um, I would urge you to support him in his content endeavors, and I mean, get a lot out of it because he's a killer player. We'll start betting with 10 high and Jack high. More TBC says Poker Go commish, Mr. Ducksworth. Mr. Duckworth did not sound happy on the Poker Go podcast that you skipped super high roller ball PLO. Yeah, I thought so. Like before this trip, I took another trip, and I thought it was going to happen earlier, and so I thought I was just going to have to be out of town anyway during that time. So I never thought about whether I wanted to play it or not. I just knew that I couldn't. Then, as it turned out, I was still in town because plans changed, and I don't know. I was so like in what month is it? November. In August, I launched Beyond the Game coaching program, and I have might limp call eights, probably shove, but whatever. Um, let's see it. Okay, we're ahead. Would have gotten in either way. Can we open the cube? We can open the cube. Let's see it. I'll pause that story. So the longer the cube stays on screen, the more money is going to be in there. That was a little too fast. 25 bucks. Do better with the glitch. Let's join another. And went up to 15,000 in one of these for the $10 buy-in at least. We're gonna try to. Just have to use some of my glitch powers on the main cube. But anyway, so I launched Beyond the Game coaching program and had 88 people join, and just I thought that it was gonna, it's a weekly call for 90 minutes, which has really turned into 2 hours usually. Um, a Discord community, some other stuff, and I don't know. I thought it was going to take me like 6 hours a week of work. As it turns out, it's taken like 30 hours a week, 40 hours, 30 probably. And I have some other things to do too. Um, and I just had too many obligations to play. You can win, Van T. This is Ryan. Again, if you're not watching Ryan's stream, you can watch both of us at the same time. Um, I guess just search Ryan LaPlante on Twitter and you'll find the link. I think he's on YouTube, or actually, I don't remember if he's YouTube or Twitch. Let me see. He's on Twitch. Let's bet our 10-7. I don't know. I just think when people check this flop, they're folding a little too much. It's half pot to win the full pot, so pretty good price. It's 2-1. And I have some outs against the weak pairs there, or ace high. Back to chat. Where'd you go? Okay. Big shove there for 24, 23 big blinds. Just worth noting. Expat says, client looks great. Bring this to New Jersey. Thank you. I think it looks great too. We are planning to expand to other states that offer regulated online poker, like New Jersey. Obviously, so Pennsylvania is not part of the MSIGA, although they recently, I'm going to get this technically wrong. It's either passed a bill or something that they're going to join the MSIGA. Now, the MSIGA is the shared player pool in the US among sites. This ace six seems a little bit close for a guy who's just shoving 23 bigs. Let's just go for it. We got some pot odds and he's got a worse hand, so that seems wise. We'll take it down. So yeah, Pennsylvania is going to join the MSIGA. Right now in the MSIGA, we've got several states: Nevada, New Jersey, Delaware, Michigan. I know that West Virginia has legal online poker, but nobody's there currently. And I'm probably blanking right now because I'm streaming at the same time. I do know all the states that have it. Here after limping, I'm just gonna bet ace king deuce with my full range. So I have range because I have a range advantage. He's gonna shove or raise a lot of ace x and king x stuff. And I'm gonna trap pre-flop with some of those. Now on the queen is a little bit interesting. I think I want to keep betting. Because even now I hang, like, if he has king three of spades, it's starting to get a little uncomfortable. So when I bet in jam river or close to jam river, it gets a little dicey here. So I used to, when I played sit and goes, it was really fun, the ICM situations, because I had to worry about each other. But now, at hypers like this, at cube sit and goes, at spin and goes, etc., first place gets it all, except for the glitch prize, of course. So there's no ICM pressure. Shove queen deuce, call queen nine. I mean, I think that looks fine. Yes, Chris Dunn. I feel like I answered. Yeah, it's funny because I didn't see your message, but I answered after it was there. That yes, PA is only within the state of PA. It's not in the MSIGA yet, but it will be. When it will be, I don't know. Queen six, 7 big blinds. I think we just got to go with it. We got 2 live cards. What's the worst that could happen? That's about the worst that could happen, and I'm okay. I live to fight another day. More TBC says cent rolls are greater than free rolls. Yeah, what's funny? For some reason, when I look at the turnouts, I'm like, yeah, a $500 free roll, whatever, it's free roll. But then the cent roll, where it's 1 cent for 250, which is obviously a worse deal. Um, in theory, somehow it feels better to me, and maybe it ends up being better because fewer players play the cent roll than the free roll, so it might end up being more value. We'll see a flop here. So we've got 3.5 times pot. I'm not going to raise get this in. I'm just going to check call. Very clear check on the river. I don't necessarily have great blockers for check shoving river, but your blockers don't matter too much here. If you think it's a good spot to go for it, just go for it. It's up against ace high. Cool. We are all in with ace jack. Should be a decent favorite against his range. I'm dominated there. Sometimes being a favorite is not enough. Actually, often being a favorite is not enough. Queen five, I think this is a fold. I'm H. Good to see you. Says good luck in the 100 NL. Thank you very much. How many players we got? That's what I really care about in the 100 NL. So 13 players in the 100 NL pool. We have 4 in the 200 NL. I want to get the 100 NL pool. What did Laz Poker say? Up to 60. Why not? Let's go for 60. I think at some point I'm going to add a couple tables of it. Okay, here's what I'll do. When 100 NL gets up to 20 players, I will add 2 tables. So all 4 table. Add 2 tables of 100 NL. Ace king against ace 10. We're dominating and we're going to win this one. He said sorry in advance. He knew he was going to suck out, but somehow didn't. I think 10 big blinds, this is a shove with ace 4. I really don't know for sure. Slightly behind, but oftentimes we end up chopping. There we go. Raise, call, 3-bet, 4-bet, we fold. I'd love to see these hands at showdown. And here we call with ace 7 very clearly. We are ahead this time. Less chopping, especially now. And we're going to take that down. All right. So either way, we have a shot at a glitch prize or the real deal. $15,000, up to $15,000 cube. Not to try to be misleading. There's probably not $15,000 in there, but there could be. King 5 off. I'm just going to check. You could shove this, and maybe I'm supposed to, but it's nice to connect on a king high board. Or a 5 low board. See Thrilla, good to see you. I mean, I'm not really living in Pennsylvania in an Airbnb, staying for a bit, but I'm enjoying it so far. My sister lives here. So, well, I would say I'm getting to spend time with her, but I'm not getting that much time because I'm working a lot and streaming at night, which is when, you might go meet a family member for dinner. But I'm seeing her a little bit. I'm going to raise to 180, see if I can scare him off of a hand that he might have gone with. Like, I don't know, king 5 or I guess he doesn't have king 5 there. Speaking of which, king deuce. I can shove this. Yikes. He did have king 5 here. And this one's going to go his way. G, G. Glitch prize, glitch prize. Wow, I am running so hot in glitch prizes. 6 is here. I'm going to check call. I don't think I do a lot of check raising on king 10, 6. And I can check raise the turn. And then glitch prize king. We're up to 17 in the 100 NL pool. 18 now. So with 2 more, I'm going to add 2 tables. We're going to 4 table. Here with 6 is Let's see if we can get the money. I think this looks really strong, but you know, what are you gonna do? Yeah, 18 in the pool now. 6 in the 200 NL pool. Any Omaha going? Anyway, more hockey asks about the BetRivers reward points expiring. I should know that. They definitely don't expire. Well, I shouldn't say definitely. They don't expire quickly. I don't know if they expire at all. I think a lot of companies have to eventually have them expire because it's a liability on their books. But I think, man, I don't know. I haven't heard about them expiring, and it looks like Kevin says they don't expire, and I'm gonna trust him. Moonlight Master says, "I'm curious how many people will be playing on the weekend." Yeah, me too. I'm gonna be streaming on Sunday. Okay, we got 20 in the pool. I'm actually gonna stop playing the sit and goes, and I'm gonna add uh, 3 tables of 100 NL, and let's see if we can get 60. Why not? I'll change my view shortly so that you can. Well, actually, 2 of the tables are empty right now, but when they're not, I will change my view. Let's raise this one and defend. Queen 9 suited. It's a nice flop. I'd take the same flop over here with 8-7. Okay, never mind. We are already up to 25 now in the pool, and we got 1 table going. So let's change our view. I might need to do some adjusting here. Yeah, we're almost there. Okay, we got the display. We're close. Close. We're getting there. We call the raise, I guess. It's an interesting spot on the river. We'll bet check bet with King 7. Hmm. Checks back flop. He raises turn. He bets tiny on the river. I just want to see this hand. I think like my hand might be a raise, but I just want to see this hand. What do you have? A 10. Somewhat ill-advised turn raise, I think. But works, for protection. We're up to 32 in this pool already. Um, the high from yesterday was 41. I think we can beat 41. Let's beat 41. I want to get to 60 because that's what Laz Poker said. Move this slightly so I can see. Okay. How is this looking? Sorry, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist sometimes when it comes to the. It needs to get a little smaller. It's easier said than done on my tiny second screen, laptop screen. Okay. Mm. This reminds me of a setting that I need to change to make multi-tabling easier. I'll show you all how to do it. Oh no. I'll show you all how to do it as well. Thanks for your patience as I stumble around here. Um, okay. Um, so what I'm going to do, settings. I don't know if you can see all of this. Bet controls, fold, call, fold, and fold. You don't have to press all of those buttons, but the bet controls you do. Bet sizing, default bet size, no limit hold'em, pre-flop, big blinds, 2.5, done. And so now what's going to happen is whenever the action's on me pre-flop, it's going to auto go to 2.5 big blinds. And then for flop, I can just make it 33%. Why not? And turn, I can make it 77. I don't know, whatever. Just showing you as an example as I time out everywhere. We're at 33 in the pool. Again, we're going to first hit 41. Let's hit 41. And by the way, if you join, you're going to get on this table on the bottom left, potentially. And then I'm taking it to 60 with last poker. ACS, what do you know about Isildur 1? Why has he stopped playing online? What has he been up to? I met up with him this summer. He seems to be doing well. He's playing a bit here and there. He took a break from poker. I think it went badly for a while. I know it went badly for a while, and got his head on straight. At least that's my interpretation of it. And it seems to be in a really good place right now. Um, yeah, I really like Victor, and he's a. Are there bounty tournaments in the schedule? What are your thoughts on mystery bounties? They seem like a step back from PKOs. Bounties are not in there yet. It's also on the list of things to add, but it's a small launch. We're adding things over time. We've got the basics right now, and I mean more than the basics. We have features that nobody else has, and we have a rakeback system that nobody else has. Queen 10 offsuit, sure. But yeah, those will be added. I don't have really strong feelings on them. I think anything that gets people interested and excited. I think mystery bounties works for the same reason that lottery sit and goes, like cubed sit and goes or spins work. It's because it's really exciting to be able to win a huge amount, and just kind of variable prizes that happen, like rather than fixed prizes, variable prizes. Just are variable rewards are very motivating in all kind of aspects of stuff. So I'm going to bet here with 7-9. It's a really good betting hand. Queen 10, the nuts. Well, it's effectively the nuts here. I'll just bet a normal size and hope for the best. Maverick asks if Poker Tracker HUD works on the site. We don't allow HUDs. However, you can, we offer hand histories that you can save. And I don't know if the trackers support them yet, but I'm sure that they will if they don't yet, for like analysis in your own database, but not HUDs that are active on the tables. And they also wouldn't work very well because players have new identities at every table. So your database of players wouldn't really help you hunt down your prey that you've played with before. Not that, and I say that in a way to explain why we did it, not because I'm denigrating using HUDs in the way that you're allowed to legally on other sites, which I'm totally for. Poker Down South asks me if I can talk about the key to not tilting. There's a lot that goes into that. And the truth of the matter is everybody tilts. Everybody tilts in one way or another. If you define tilt, which Tommy Angelo does, is anytime he says it so eloquently, and I can't find it right now while I'm four tabling, but something along the lines of, tilting is anytime you play differently from the way you would have, um, or the way that you should or think you should or normally would because of emotion, I think. It's something along those lines. But basically, everybody tilts. So some people have big outward expressions of anger and look like they're tilting more, whereas others, you can't see them react, but they actually play differently. The types of tilt people think of when they hear the word tilt is just like you shove your money in with anything because you're so furious. But there are so many ways to tilt. Some players get tighter when they tilt. There's a term I like to use, coined by me, so I'll take the credit, called a turtle tilt, which is when somebody's losing and they just kind of retreat into their shell and essentially keep playing because they're hoping they cooler somebody. They're like waiting for aces or waiting for a set, but otherwise you're just going to fold, fold, fold and not get into any big confrontations. I think that's a common way for people to react to losses. Whereas others, yeah, they play it differently. You can also tilt just by being, being bored. You could play more hands because you're bored. You could tilt by playing scared because you're playing above your bankroll, or you've already lost a few buy-ins and you're getting uncomfortable. There are lots of ways to tilt, and I think everybody tilts. So I suppose that my answer to your question is, oh, I forgot it auto sets my raise size. It's 250. I suppose that recognizing just the fact, recognizing that you tilt is step one. So we've made some progress. Here we raise a call through sevens. I'm not going to have any raises on ace king seven. I'm just going to call the flop. It looks like the setting works differently than I thought. And so I'm going to need to change it to 1.5 here because it does it's doing 2.5 big blinds more. So now I'll get the raise size I want. I don't know. Let's try to get all in with sevens. A little bit hard to get value because you really need to turn some stuff into bluffs here. Unfortunately, I'm set over setted and boat over boated. I'm going to lose that one. It is really tough to get paid there, but I mean, what am I going to do? Another raise to 250. We'll throw a nice hand out here. And we're up to 34 players in the pool. Again, 41. Let's get to 41. I'll give the stream a thumbs up. That's the big celebration, and then we'll aim for 60. I think we can do it tonight. The night is young. Tria, that does seem like a $1 billion idea. Okay. More TVC is engrossed by the four tabling and settings changings. Um, Jens, I'm assuming it's Jens, Peter Nielsen. Um, what's the difference between betting for protection and merge betting? Great question. They are different. So, betting for protection, simplified, is what it sounds like. And I think betting for strictly for protection is almost always a mistake, but it basically means I'm betting so that my opponent doesn't suck out. Now, usually for a hand to be good enough to bet for protection, you're also betting for value. So you're betting for value and protection. And if protection is too much of the equation, then I think you're often just not getting value enough anymore and you're value cutting and you're making a bad bet. That can happen quite often, especially against good opponents. Against weaker opponents, um, let's deal with 10-8. Against weaker opponents, you can get away with betting for protection a lot if they're a certain kind of weak. And there are certain boards on which, even against good opponents, you can get away with doing a lot of protection betting just because of the way your range works. They can't punish you for it too badly. But for the most part, I would advise you to be careful about protection betting. Here, let's start by bluffing. This is not a value bet or protection bet, it's a bluff. Um, but in my opinion, and I talk about this in a few of my courses. It's unfortunate. I think we're gonna have to fold. I kind of don't believe her, but I had 10 high. But what I was saying is, I do talk about how protection betting is often overdone. It should be a very small piece of the equation on early streets, and obviously on the river, there's no such thing as protection betting. Merge betting, um, merge betting happens more often to make your opponent the goal of a merge bet, like a well executed merge bet, makes sure. And here I have an easy bluff with king high. Is to get your opponent to sometimes call with worse hands and sometimes fold better hands. Now, if that sounds crazy, it's actually not as crazy as it might sound. So, for example, let me find the perfect board. So, on a board of, well, I'll give a simple example. On a board of Queen 10 4, let's say Queen 10 4 6, you bet flop with a hand like, you fire a small C bet with 6 5, and then you turn the 6. Depends on the situation, but you might merge bet the turn by making a big bet with 6 5. And your goal is to make a hand like 10-9 fold or pocket eights fold, but also to get called by an ace high flush draw or king jack or ace jack. And that does happen sometimes as we flop another set down here. So that's a merge bet. It's different than a protection bet. Protection is to try to deny equity to other hands. A merge bet is to accomplish two things: make better hands fold and worse hands call. Some of the time, not exclusively and always. Just gonna slow play a set. You don't want to make somebody fold a hand like king jack before they turn a king, or ace jack before they turn an ace. I had another point. I lost it. Oh, what I was going to say is in Palom and Omaha, in PLO, you tend to get let's go for a small bet, and this should set us up for a river shove. It's going to make it hard to fold a lot of stuff. So a lot of people in this spot, they think, oh, well, I can't bet this small because then flush draws have enough of a price to call. Yeah, but that's like you're trying to play against an entire range, not against one type of hand. Ooh, super cooler and suck out. Unfortunate. You're trying to play against. I mean, actually, that was fortunate. I'm trying to lose. You're trying to play against an entire range, and if you focus just on the draws because you're playing from a place of fear, you're going to miss value from like king queen that is going to fold to a big bet, but is going to call that small bet with 0% equity. Aces will three bet. I'll get back to the chat. Don't shy away from throwing questions my way in chat, but it's just that I have a lot of hands going on sometimes, and then I go off on a concept. But keep the chat coming. We're up to 36 players, 100 in all, and we got another set. I think I'm going to go ahead and raise right away. It's hard to represent air when I check call 854. we're just gonna bet. Try to get this money. I think setting up. This is kind of geometric betting, setting up for a river jam, and off we go. Nine, slightly bad for us, and then 9-7, 9-6, kind of our, you know, those are big parts of our bluff range, and so he might not, he might make more folds, but here we go. Did not fold. Sets are not going very well for us, but you love to see it. Love to see the BetRivers players taking my money. Okay. Moonlight says if you could offer the exact net worth of any person, oh, people would pay $10 to check plenty of people. That could be a $1 billion idea you'd never be able to pull off. Yeah, we're talking about $1 billion app ideas. In Brazil, right now we're only in Pennsylvania. We'll expand to some more U.S. states, but Brazil is, if it's going to happen, is far away. Is probably a ways away, I should say. You can fold this in a three-way pot and fold this to a three bet. More hockey. In your opinion, a small winner at online 200 NL today, do you think they would have been good enough to play the highest stakes in 2009-ish? No. And you can see I answered pretty decisively. I think, well, it's a no. The answer is still no. It kind of depends what you're asking, right? You could be asking transport them now with all the skills and knowledge and tools they have back to 2009 and play high stakes, and then would they win? Maybe. If they continued to have access to the tools while all of their opponents did not, then maybe. Um, but if you can't go, like if it's like if the question is if they started playing, back then, and kind of had gone on their same career trajectory in terms of how much they learned and how they studied and whatever else. Whoops, misclick, timeout. Um, would they be beating high stakes? I think no. I think that I mean, there could be somebody who is still on their way up, and 2 years in, they're beating 200 NL, and in a few years, they're going to be beating much higher stakes, and then yeah, maybe. But if they've kind of capped out at 200 NL today, then I don't think they have the intangibles and kind of poker aptitude to beat the high stakes games back in the day. Um, those players played very well, even though they didn't understand we didn't have all the tools back then that you have today. There's still a lot of skill that goes in, beyond the tools. Art Fox says, nice to you stream, Mr. Falcons. What poker year would you say were your favorite one and why? I think it was 2008 that I won my first bracelet and had my biggest winning year online. So I have to go with that. Um, yeah, I have to. Tens, I guess I'm going to fold. These players have been reasonable enough in terms of their pre-flop stats. Richie Lucky, thank you for the kind words. We're up to 37 on 100 NL. Oh, am I disconnecting? That would be bad because I'm streaming. It does look like I'm having some connection issues. Let's see. Stream hasn't gone down yet, so that's good. I'll take a short break and see if I can sort this out. Hang tight and actually throw the questions in so that when I come back from break, I have some questions to answer. All right, we're back. I'm still not sure what happened. Um, but I mean my connection came back soon, but I have 0 second time banks everywhere. I dropped to two tables, just so I don't time out as I talk to you. We are also at 40. So I think we were actually at 42 before I dropped the table. So we did hit our target. I will later join some more tables. Um, I don't know if I rejoin if I get my time banks back, but we'll see what happens here. We'll hang out and talk. I'll be careful here. If you stuck with me during the break, a lot of people leave during breaks, which I mean I get. We have patience issues, but thank you. And yeah, let's see these questions. King 10, let's call and see a flop. I've noticed these games today are not as soft as yesterday. Yesterday it was 100 was very soft. Today they're more reasonable. 41 players without me. And you can tell that just by looking at the stats. Yesterday I was playing with a lot of people who were like playing 40% of hands and raising zero, playing 60% of hands and raising 10. But we got some gamers today. So Cooking it asking what state is next. Not at liberty to say that, but I do know the answer. Um, More hockey. So I mean, if they had all the knowledge they have now with solvers and everything, basically trying to understand how tough high stakes were back then. I think if they took their knowledge back, then I don't know. I would say no. They would. I mean, certainly if like a 1K player today took their knowledge back with solvers back then, I think they'd be a winner. But the 200 NL player, I don't think they would. If they could continue to study with the tools back then, maybe. But I don't know. EKW, I did talk to them. I talked to somebody who was going to talk to support, and I thought you would have heard by now. So that's a little unfortunate. Let me see. Have they even responded to you, or have they just said, "Hey, we need to look into this"? Just want to know what I'm reporting accurately. Lex was mentioning the best player 10 years ago wouldn't be top 200 today, referring to MTTs. He would know better than me with MTTs. But actually, that's probably true. So these are two different questions, right? If you took the best high stakes, the best no limit player from, I don't know, 10 years ago was 2014. I think they'd be pretty good. But the best no limit player from 2009, they would not be, I don't think they would be top. They might do okay heads up. Probably not. Probably not great. But yeah, they would not be top 100 or 200 today, probably. But taking a, yeah, I agree with that, but it's different. Master. So there was a mini drop on YouTube. It continued with no issue after a few. So my internet disconnected then. from, and then it caused a disconnection both on the poker platform and YouTube and presumably Twitch. Yeah, Doinkus, I think it's a, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I just think that the best players back in 2009 adapted very well. So let's say you were playing them heads up. You're a 200 NL player and you're playing them heads up, and you're using these strategies they've never seen before because you use solvers that and like they hadn't used. Um, Actually, that's challenging a specific part of my range. I wonder if I should start implementing that strategy. Um, I think you'd be surprised. Certainly today, there are players at high stakes who beat players who are much more studied than them. Um, and I mean, I've been one of them at times. Still at 40 players and at 100 NL, despite me dropping in two tables. EKW, if I had access to Rio's essential video library, what would we concentrate on for 50 no limit? Honestly, what I would do is I would go to the video library, use the filters, sort by essential, no limit, six max, if that's what you're playing. And then I would sort by have enjoyed the most. And usually that'll, you know, be a good indicator that they were good content, right? People found helpful. It's also an indicator that somebody's responding to, like a coach is responding to questions. All right, we're at 42 in this pool. I want to, I want to get us to more. So we're going to go back to four tables and just YOLO. If we time out, we time out. Whoops. It's dropped to 41, but this should get us a couple more. Let's at least get to 50. Come on. Brian asks, I'm sure someone asked already, but Phil, but any thoughts on if or when PA may join the shared player pool? If is a yes. They've already confirmed that they're going to join the shared player pool. That happened only in the last few months, maybe even a month and a half ago or something. But there is no timeline set just yet. My guess, like if I had to set an over under, I would say 10 months. But I mean, it could easily be 5 months. It could easily be 2 years. I don't know. BC Sazar. What I'm saying is there are way more insanely good players than you think. I'm not. There's some back and forth that I'm missing here, but um, I think there are a ton of very good players. There are a ton of very good players, but I think there are not that many elite players that like I think the I guess I don't really know. I feel like the top 10, like if you took the top 10 players in any game and put them heads up against player number 50, in that game. I think player number 50 gets smoked. Um, I think we can start betting 10-9. But the fun thing about poker is we don't really know, and we never will know. Um, we don't even know who the top 10 are. And a heads up pot, I would float here with 10-9, but I think I can lay this down with three people seeing the flop. It's just like he's got a hand. I'm not going to hit my gut shot often enough, and I'm not going to make him fold very often because he's got a good hand. 43 in the pool. Let's keep it going. We got some opinions going back and forth on Twitch. As long as we keep it cordial, I'm in favor of healthy debate. I was tempted to ask how everybody feels about the election, but I would have been joking. King 5 suited. If this player had played more hands, how many? Small sample. Let's get a little frisky. Card Fox, great question. Says back when you were climbing up to high stakes, do you remember who you considered to be your end bosses, who you overcame, and then if there were any you never managed to overcome? Um, Different answers at different points, but there were a few players that sometimes you have these players that kind of have a hold over you where it just feels like you never beat them. For me, online, those players were Phil Ivey and um, Zygmunt. They both just seem to always have it when I called them down, and yet they won a bunch of pots by taking it down without showdown. And usually the I go for one more check before I start getting value with my king five. Though I do think I could have started with a turn bet river bet and it would have been 2-2 then. Now we can raise this small bet. I'm gonna see if I can confuse him by going extra big, which is quite thin, but it would require him like nobody's small betting king jack here that I'm aware of. Uh-oh. Ace king, okay. I didn't expect it. Didn't expect the small bet with ace king. So he got me good. I confused myself. Um, yeah, and usually sometimes that is because some player is better than you. Oftentimes it's because of variance. You know, you only play so many big pots with each individual player. And then it does kind of become a cycle where somebody's run hot against you. You don't have confidence that you can read their hand. They have a lot of confidence when they play against you. You don't have confidence when you play against them. And then there's just like they actually then gain an, if they didn't have the edge already, they gain the edge. And if they had the edge, they gain a bigger edge. Um, just because, the psychological edge of, them running hot against you. Lily has played 9 hands, and this is the first pot she's entered. But now Joyce cold called, also 9 hands, barely played a pot. I'm just gonna rip this in with Ace King though, and there's 33 bucks in the pot here to take down. I'm just usually gonna take it down, and it's not like I want to slow play, and yeah, it's just I think that's the best way to play it. We will take the 33 bucks. Chris Quigley, I'm very sorry to hear that. Let me see what I can do. I'm gonna check call with ace deuce of spades. This would make a really good raising. I mean, if we were a little shorter, it'd make a good shoving hand, but I'm just going to check call again. As not our river, I'm going to be check folding. It's a very clear check fold with my hand, unless you have a very strong read on an opponent. So I'm going to be laying this down. Chris, I'll pass this on, and don't apologize for bothering me about it on stream. I'm sorry for the experience, and it's actually really useful because if there is a like a process issue that I can help fix, I want to become aware of it. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. EKW saying on the current people time traveling back to 2009, it'd be fun watching the old school regs being sure they're absolute fish with their min opens and tiny flop bets. Yeah. Well, so with those, it's interesting because we're up to 48 by the way in the 100 NL pool. I've never seen 48, but the next milestone is 50. Let's get there. Um, it would be actually back then like tournament players played with a lot of small bets and min raises, so it wouldn't have been that foreign. But just seeing the like third pot river bets, there would be a lot of stuff that would make somebody seem like a huge fish. The lack of c bet, like 0% c bet on some boards when out of position, things like that. So yeah, it would be really funny. More hockey cards says we're the guys from 2 months 2 million top 10 players at the time. I assume Krantz was considered elite back then, but not sure. Yeah, I mean the debatable. Some people consider them. I mean, there were first of all there were several of them, and all certainly considered top, you know, 25, 30 players. And so many people from then might have been and might not have been top five players. And I don't have. I'm not, to be very clear, I'm not saying that any of them were not top five. I just don't know. And I don't know who I would put in my top five back then. It's just like so many players of. I know today I said like the top 10 versus 50th would wipe the floor with them. Back then, it was just very unclear who was best. So I don't, like it was clear who held the lobbies and who had the best. Well, not even clear who had the best results, but kind of. We're up to 49. And Tran says, does BetRivers have a rake back reward program? Does it? I don't know how to. I can't chat on here. Yes. So where are you? YouTube? Can I chat on YouTube? Throw it in chat. Um, that was probably a legitimate timeout because I was doing something else. I have had some. Oh no, maybe I am having the connectivity issues again. Hopefully my stream didn't crash as well. Let's see. Well, I wonder if it's something I did. I'm now back everywhere. Okay. But yes, we absolutely have rakeback program, and it's the number one thing I'm most excited about what we're doing. It was our biggest idea when we relaunched here as BetRivers, and I'm trying to give all of our rake back to the players. And long story short, I mean, read that post for details. And for those on Twitch who don't see it, it's galfond.link/rake. Or you can just in the BetRivers lobby, or if you look up BetRivers, I don't know, you can look up stuff. BetRivers Poker, Rake, Galfond, Rakeback, something, something on Google. But essentially, um, we came up with a way that I think will work best for the company and for players, to give them all the rake that we collect, and we've got 3 months to prove that it works. And so what that means is, well, you read the post and find out, but basically what it means is we need your support now. If you're in Pennsylvania or traveling to Pennsylvania or considering traveling to Pennsylvania, the next 3 months are critical potentially for the future of breakback and online poker. And I don't mean to sound overly dramatic, but we have an opportunity here to do something really special. But I need to know, like, I need to be able to show that it's a win-win. It's the win-win that I think it is for the Bet Rivers company as a whole, and poker players. I'll go with small bet here with 9-8. So I almost time out. Yep, got over 50. Nice catch. Truth hurts. We're at 51. 9 tables running. It's exciting. So I'm actually, I don't think this is really a good play, but I'm going to half pot turn and check river. Be funny to bluff him off of an ace. I don't think so. I wonder if he's considering leading, and if so, if he'd be leading with 9-8 suited, I'm going to call a 3-bet here on the top right. Not my flop, even though I flopped a pair. We are facing the all-in jam. Unfortunately, he could be doing this with just an ace trying to bluff me off a chop. He could be doing with a 9, which I mean I chop with, but I can't call with a 9. I consider calling with an ace. But he very well could have been nice hand bluffing with the best hand there. So I can't consider calling with a 9. Raging 70 was up there, so Stellar Nebula, yes, absolutely. Are you the real Stellar Nebula, by the way? Johnny says, do you think low rake poker sites can be competitive these days? Seems like the most successful sites all have the highest rake. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to change. But you're absolutely right that, I mean, GG is the most successful site. They have really high rake. Private apps have become very successful at high stakes. They have very high rake. There are a lot of reasons for that, that are kind of neither here nor there. But I'm hoping it can change. A Hollywood guy says I have no stream size choice. So you can't adjust from 1080 to 240, 360, 480, 720. So I am streaming for the first time on, what are you on? You're on Twitch. So I've just been streaming from OBS to YouTube for the last several years. And today I got Streamlabs OBS, and do they call it that anymore? It's just Streamlabs desktop now. And I'm streaming to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And I wonder, I mean, probably that has something to do with it. It could be set. I mean, I set it up literally 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. So it could be settings that I missed. It could be Twitch. Moonlight Master blames Twitch. For multiple tables together, do we show up as different avatars at each? Yes, we do. So you do. I don't because I'm Phil Galfond everywhere, and Ryan is Ryan LaPlante everywhere. But the the rest of you have a different identity, a different alias and avatar, and stats at each table. And we do that for a lot of reasons. But to sum them all up, it's to protect players from getting hunted. EKW says the stream only freezes when you're answering my questions. Mason, thank you for the kind words. Full base 10. 53 players. Wow. So Laz Poker came on the stream and said we are going to get to 60 today. Screw it. I'm going to add 2 tables. You're not going to be able to see him, but we got to make this happen. Actually, wow. Am I going to make my computer explode? Maybe. Maybe, maybe not. But it'll be worth it. I want to get to 60 players in the 100 NL pool. We are now up to 56, 10 tables running. If we fill these 10 tables with 6 players each, let's do it. So if you're playing on BetRivers Poker right now, add a table. You can do it. Add a 100 NL table. We can do it. 56. More TBC. Thank you for linking that. I forgot to mention that the rake, the galfond.link/rake only works for people in the United States. More TBC shared a link to my in Twitch, which maybe Moonlight you can share that in YouTube as well. But shared a link to one that a version you can read from elsewhere. 6-4 suited. Let's call. Apologies in advance when I talk about a hand that's off the screen for you. 56 players, 10 tables. This is a record as far as I've seen. I haven't been on here every hour of every day. 6-4. Let's bluff. You don't get to check raise bluff many hands here, but I think they're specifically like 3x of hearts and 4x of hearts, rather. Well, not rather, but both of those. We'll take it down. I could say few, but don't want to rub it in. 57 players. We can get to 60. Laz Poker, the Oracle. I wasn't gonna say that we were gonna get to 60 today. I was gonna say let's get to 45 or 50. But you knew better. Dennis asks if BetRivers is coming to Michigan soon. All I can say is that the plan is to expand to as many other regulated states as we can in time. $58, 2 more. I still have a table with just 3 players on it, so I think there actually might be some in the pool that are not actually playing their final entry. It's just an internet connectivity issue at some point. GCT18, first time streaming on Twitch in a while for me. I streamed on Twitch only for, well, for a little bit. I don't know, 4 years ago or something. And then stopped. The last few years I've been building up my YouTube channel and I've only streamed on YouTube. Today I downloaded Streamlabs and I set up a multi-stream I tried it with Restream a few months ago, and stream kept crashing. I don't think that's what's happening today. I think the Airbnb I'm in with Wi-Fi, like at my home, I'm connected to Ethernet. I just think I've had some connectivity issues on my computer. 59, 59, 59. One more. James asks if I think online poker will be legalized in New York. You can't say for sure, but would love to hear your take on online poker legalization in general. I don't really know. I really hope so. New York is huge. Texas is huge. California is the hugest. I know California's been trying for a while and struggling. A lot of lobbying against it from what is okay. A lot of lobbying against it um, from the tribes there that run the casinos. I don't entirely know why, um, but I don't know. I think it's going to happen, but that's just based on like as more of these companies like BetRivers, which is owned by RSI, like a DraftKings, which launched that. Like they don't really have poker yet, but they launched a poker thingy. Um, that was a weird one. I mean, I could maybe call the turn there. As more of those companies get poker and put lobbying dollars behind making poker legal, I think we'll see more of more movement, I would say. Everybody throwing out the +1 table. That's a good idea. +1 table. +1 table. We're still at 59. Throw it out here during this big pot. All right, so, well, no decision to make on the river. I obviously wasn't going to donk the river. I shouldn't say obviously, but I didn't want to. All right, we got the +1 tables going around. I appreciate you all. We're still at 59. This is funny. 59 players. We can do it, y'all. Meanwhile, let's 4-bet bluff. My master laughing at me 6-tabling no limit. Oh no, I got the YOLO jam. Should I YOLO call? I mean, with all the +1s, how is somebody not joining one more table? I'm gonna YOLO call. We got 41. I mean, we need like 30% or 36% equity. We got a little bit less. Give him the YOLO. Give him the nice hand. We still got 59. If you want to take my stack uh, when I have ace 4 suited, you got to join this next table, Pennsylvania. How are we stuck at 59? It's been 59 for a while. The last poker prophecy of 60 is so close. Yeah, let's keep annoying everybody with the +1 table. Why not? $60. That's as excited as I get. Sorry. 60. We did it, Laz. Wherever you are. I haven't seen you in chat for a bit. But you can watch this on the replay and see that we got there. Up. It was for 1 second. Now we're at 58. I want to get back to 60. So, okay, 59. Maybe somebody sat out for a minute and they're coming back. We're back to the sweat, 59. Let's see. Chat, chat, chat. Dennis says, can't you just bum hunt the usernames? Are they hidden if you're not sitting on the table? Yeah, you can't see them if you're not sitting on the table, and the usernames are different at each table. So and like the next day they're different. So you can't really remember the usernames that you're trying to bum hunt. So the whole point is to prevent that. Yeah. Make greater rewards for PLO, says Shadow Maniac. Make PLO great again. Yeah, we're trying to give away all the rake. So it's about as good as it gets, realistically. Good question, Joseph. So Joseph asks regarding the screen name, anonymous screen names. We're still at 59. Come on, guys. I understand helping stop predatory play in cash, but why not tournaments? So in tournaments, or why in tournaments? So in tournaments, yeah, there's no table selection. There is, you can see who's registered and decide to register based on that. Although you could potentially turn that off, but still have regular screen names. It is something we've toyed with. We've gone back and forth on. The idea is, we wanted to not allow HUDs, and part of not allowing HUDs, a big part of not allowing HUDs, is making them less valuable. And we did that through a combination of because yes, we do things to make it hard for HUDs to work. We do things to detect HUDs if people are using them illegally. But if we on other sites that don't allow HUDs, people use HUDs. There's if there's a will, there's a way, unfortunately. And so, in addition to trying to prevent and punish HUD use, we disincentivize it heavily. So part of that is through having the HUD on the table already with Hero IQ, which you can see. Well, I'm making my computer explode, so you'll see it in a minute. Let's see. I got a couple tables going. This one froze. Yeah, my laptop's actually 4 years old, which shouldn't, it's not that old, but I didn't think that was going to work. It did. Um, yeah, could be the issue. It's my laptop. Anyway, so we disincentivize it with Hero IQ, which shows their stats, and also with table aliases, which doesn't allow you to accumulate a database on somebody. And so, if within tournaments screen names were persistent, then you would be able to have a huge database on somebody that you play with day in and day out, um, and there would be more incentive to try to skirt the rules, and not only more incentive to try to skirt the rules, but more advantage to somebody who skirts the rules compared to somebody who's playing honestly. And so that's the reasoning. I don't think it's a clear cut decision. There are trade offs, there are pros and cons. That's where we landed. Um, One of the things that's really important to us and to me is to stay, first of all, to be transparent with things like that. That's why I'm explaining exactly why we did it. And also to stay engaged with the community and hear opinions from people in the community to see and keep an open mind to potentially change the plan. All right. Well, we got the push to 60 and now people left. We're at 54. So I guess it's I'm still going to stay on 6 tables, even though it seems to be taxing my computer a lot. Up there with King Jack. Moonlight, and if you're still here, more TBC. Let me actually see who said this. I might not have it. Dun, 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 dun. Don't time out everywhere. Oh, I meant to bet, but instead I timed out and checked. All right, I'm gonna have to drop some tables. You know what I'll do? I want to figure something else out, so I'm gonna take a short break. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna come back with fewer tables. So sit out next hand. I'll be right back. Hang tight, everybody. Well, I guess you can watch me play two pair. Then Jack 5 suited. Jack 5 suited's gotten pretty boring. I probably should have bet the flop, but I wasn't paying attention. All right, I'll see you all very soon. Hang tight. And we are back. So I closed all those tables. My computer was really not handling it well. And I hopped to two tables of 500 NL. Get some higher stakes in here. Um, One thing I'll point out while we're here, we've got the nightly Benjamin. It's a 4,000 guaranteed tournament, which starts in an hour. Very likely will be some significant overlay here. And there is also, in 2 hours, the $50 nightly rush, which is, whoops, sorry, $50. So there's a $5 nightly rush here, $50 nightly rush. It's going to be a $1,000 guarantee. Again, I expect both of these to overlay. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure. There's also here the quarter rush, which starts in an hour 23 minutes. You buy in for a quarter, which is essentially a free roll, and the prize pool is confused by the prize pool. It's currently 312.50, not 250. Either way, the prize pool is going to be too much. So enjoy that. The free roll is still happening. You got 51 minutes to late reg. The $500 free roll, we got 242 people in it. It's about 50 cents, a little more than 50 cents in free value to everybody in there, which is not nothing. All you got to do is click some buttons, have some fun. But yeah, especially this first week and in the weeks to follow, because we just launched less than a week ago, there's going to be overlay. So, get in there, take your slice of the overlay, get rewarded for being an early user. And I mean, there's every incentive for us to tell you about it because we're paying out anyway. All right, let's see chat. Oh, EKW. 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can get you the support you're looking for, EKW. I appreciate you being here. And first of all, I appreciate you being here and watching the stream. Second of all, sorry you're not able to get in yet. And I appreciate you being here and being positive despite that. Some people would show up and whine and complain. And important quality in people is to, I mean, for lack of to sum it up, just positivity. Oh yeah, Moonlight points out that I didn't finish my request towards Moonlight and more TBC. No, I'm good. I took care of it. Yeah, Moonlight. Yeah, streaming on top of the 6 tables is what makes it lag. And I think that Streamlabs is a little bit heavier than regular OBS. I guess let's hang out with the 1 table view for now. I guess Bro says, PG, looks like you're missing cards. Aren't you supposed to have 4? I am more used to 4. I know what I'm doing when I have 4. But we're playing No Limit Texas Hold'em. EKW over in the Twitch stream too. Awesome. Actually, if you're over in the Twitch stream, now I might have a request for them. Let's see. Okay, I do. Hold here. Sorry, I'm trying to get EKW some help. We're playing some 500 NL. I'm sitting alone at another 500 NL table, also a 500 PLO table. If anybody wants to gamble with, and I actually don't really encourage you to do that because I'm pretty good at PLO. Here against the min raise, I'm actually just going to flick in the call. I haven't played a hand yet in 11 hands. I'm such a nit. So they're going to be scared of me. And here's my flop. Um, I think raising kind of works. This player might be folding. Jensen. So like Melvin could just be c betting whatever and can fold. By raising, I can make Jensen fold, pocket fives or something else, and if not, I have plenty of equity. More hockey has a Moonlight asks if I'm trying to bust my roll again. Yes, if anybody wants to play big, let's bust my roll. More hockey says when tables get heads up and are about to break, I'd like to see something in the software that forces both players to get a button before they can leave. That is a good suggestion. It's interesting to figure out how to implement it because, and this could be a three better call. I'm going to call the challenge with rules like that, which I like, and I want to figure out how to do it, is that when you have a recreational player, um, and it breaks down to heads up, they want to quit, and it says it like doesn't let them, they're going to feel like something's broken or like something's unfair. And so our challenge when in implementing a rule like that is we have to communicate it really well. A spot like this came up yesterday on stream where this actually is a protection bet, kind of a value bet. And yes, I'm going to get check called by better, but the fact that I have a lot of ace X protects me from Allison check raising a hand like pocket queens. So it's just kind of a very cheap way for third pot to protect my hand. Do okay against the value range. We chop it up against 10-9. Or sorry, do okay against the check call range. Not do great, but do okay. And deny some equity. I'm going to sit at a $10 cube sit and go. Whoops. And switch to that view just because it looks pretty. If anybody wants to hop in the $10 cubes, I was running hot with, well, glitch prizes, winning. Everything was going well for me. I don't know why I stopped. I guess I stopped to get to the 60, 100 NL players, which we did get to. More TBC, thank you for being here. It's really good to see you. Thanks for helping out. Brandon G up in Canada. Nope, it's only for Pennsylvania players. You don't need to be a resident of Pennsylvania. You can just come visit Pennsylvania and play on the site, which if you're going to do it in the next 2.5 months, so that we can prove that giving all of the rake back to the players makes more people play. It looks like Moonlight's trying to DM you EKW. What he's trying to do, I mean, if you're interested in, it seems like he can't reach you. I did pass on your YouTube channel for them to look into and see if they can reach you. But if you could say what your screen name is on BetRivers Poker or your email address, not both, but whichever you're more comfortable with, um, if you could put that in chat, then I can pass that on to support, poker support team. Truth Hurts says the 100 tables died with a quickness when you left. It's like people were bum hunting. Well, I would bum hunt me too when I'm streaming, talking to chat, and playing six tables. I get it. No, I think they were just motivated, like I was, to get to 60 tables. They're part of the mission, and I appreciate it. I will say, like I said yesterday, if I were a 100 NL player, I would have kind of never stopped playing those games. They were really good. Today, they were just fine. not quite as good. More high volume players, which is probably why we got to 60. Jeff, yes, this is the software we built, and we did sell it to RSI, who runs BetRivers, and so it's relaunched as BetRivers Poker in the U.S. I do not own it, but I still work on it. I'm still a part of the team and still very much believe in the mission. Well, we got the sit and go to go at the exact same time as another 500 NL table. So I guess we're going back to the four table view. Although, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I really want to get, I want to make cool stuff happen on the cube sit and go, where it's kind of in bigger view. Like I want to win a jackpot when it's in a big view like this. So it makes a nice, good video clip. Ace two suited. I'm going to see a flop. Could obviously shove this hand if you want to, but nice to have some ace X in the range. Post flop for playability and board coverage and blah, blah, blah. And here on this flop, I'll just check call. Nine's going to show down. Probably win against fives. Okay, 6, 7 offsuit. That's too loose of a call. Ace two, so I'll fold. Oh, it's Ryan out here grinding the SNGs with me still. Thank you, Ryan, for keeping these going. Try to steal the blinds with King Deuce. Deuce doesn't make the worst two barrel on a board like this. 10-9 suited. Keep in mind, Jensen has played 54% of hands so far, raised 37%. It's very loose aggressive. So I'm expecting a much wider range than normal here, which actually makes this more of a 3-bet, but certainly a hand I want to play. I'm going to fast play. I mean, fast play is the wrong word. It's not a value hand, but I'm going to play it fast by raising. We check call here with Jack 9. Flop, very standard. 10-9 here against Jensen. I'm going to keep betting. And Jack 9, let's just lay down. 9's not helpful. I block some straight draws with the 9. And we get shoved on. We lose. Nice hand, Mr. Jensen. Raise call 7s. If Ryan wants to shove. Is not. Okay, EKW, you got it to Moonlight. Thank you. Well, let me get that from him and get it to the right people. Interesting spot here with 7s. I'm going to make a very exploitative play, even though Ryan's a good player. It's really tough to do something about this because you kind of have to call with a 4 or a 3, and you to raise with like a ace deuce is kind of scary. So I think this is a play that kind of works, but it's very exploitable. Someone's going to make the aggressive adjustments. So I mean, I got value in on the turn. That worked out well, but besides the river. Similarly here, you could go for protection. I'm just going to check back. Ace 9 suited, easy call. I think I'm going to win this one. I could say ship it to Ryan. He's not going to be offended. We'll call. Oh, you can't see what I'm talking about. Just for the best, it was a bad play. We three bet aces. Had to bring that on screen. And we get four bet. Let's just keep this on screen. I think I just want to call rather than shove it in pre. We've already got 233 in the pot, SPR of 2, less than 2. So like I want to get the I'm gonna get the money in post flop. Ace 4, I'll check. Aces, he bets 50 again. Like if he's got kings, we're gonna get the money. If he's got queens, we're gonna get the money. If he's bluffing, I want to keep him in. So just call. He's high there. Lose to a queen. Well played by Allison. And so I think the correct play here is to call, but I'm a little afraid of like a river 7 scaring away kings. So I'm just going to shove it in here. That's cooler for Onyx. And we will take down the pot. I was kind of hoping he would suck out. Okay, we get 3-bet again. This time with ace king. Let's put in the 4-bet. You get called. I mean, we're going with this. Small sizing here. Meanwhile, we got kings with very few big blinds. I'm gonna shove them in against Ryan. Well, face the check here with ace king. I mean, there's 2/3 pot remaining. I think we just have to shove and get value / protect our hand. Okay, we will take it. Nine deuce, 6-5 suited. Let's keep the aggression up. We will shove Jack 10. Joseph asking about a minimal starting bankroll. Oh, we're gonna lose Jack 10 for 2-5. No limits. Really depends. Oh, glitch prize, glitch prize, glitch prize. Oh, how did we not win it that time? Brutal. Really depends if you're going to replenish your bankroll or not. So a lot of people who play 2-5 live also like play recreationally. They have a job, and so it's a little different than just having a bankroll that you can never replenish. But assuming you cannot replenish the bankroll, make these tables slightly smaller. Assuming you cannot replenish it, 30 buy-ins maybe. Well, so 30. I guess it depends how deep you're playing. If you're playing 1K deep, maybe 20K, which is 20 buy-ins, but really for 40 100 big blind buy-ins. But then you need to step down, or you ought to step down. Things don't go your way early. Ethan Bennett, good to see you. What are my MTO goals for this stream? Are there any plans to add games beyond No Limit Hold'em and PLO? To the second question, not soon. Although I'd love to. MTO goals for the stream. Ethan's talking about in Beyond the Game, and in some. I've talked about this on social media, but a goal setting framework that I really like is the MTO framework. It stands for minimum, target, and outrageous. And for every goal you set a minimum, a target goal, which is kind of the target goal is what you would think of if you were just setting the goal once. I'm actually going to fold fives here. I don't feel good about it. And then outrageous is an outrageous goal that is much higher than what you are thinking you should aim for. And the reason this works really well is that you can kind of underachieve your expectations, but still hit the minimum goal such that you don't give up. A lot of times what happens with goal setting is we say like, I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week and then for a year. And then 2 weeks in, it's over because you've gone 3 days a week twice and you lose. So setting goals that you such that the minimum is still achievable for a while, even if it doesn't go your way at first or you have some hiccups. The target is what you want to hit, and then the outrageous is really, really awesome. For this stream, I mean, tonight's stream is not going to last much longer, so I don't have many MTO goals. I have been disappointed, truth be told, the last couple of days with stream viewership. In the past, when I've streamed some other things, getting 1,000 viewers is, I don't know if I want to say average, but it happens quite often. Like maybe it's average. It's all like maybe 800 is average. And it's been really low this last week or two. And I don't know if it's because this is specific to Pennsylvania. I don't know if it's because I'm not playing as high stakes as I often do on stream, or there's not like a online bracelet hunt going on. But I had hoped the interest of this brand new poker platform coming to the United States regulated market and doing something brand new when it comes to rake and rewards would generate some more interest. But just the fact of the matter is it hasn't. So that's been a little disappointing. And so if you had asked me on day one what my MTO goals were, let's say for stream viewership, concurrent viewers, I would have said minimum 500 target. Well, no, minimum 300 target 1,000 outrageous 1,800. But I'm failing all of those. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. I mean, I can spam on Twitter, but I don't really want to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and we were here after. I think after raising pre and check calling flop on 10-8 deuce, it looks like I have something. Usually, people expect you to semi bluff hands like mine, so I think the check call line can work out quite well. Defend 8-7 offsuit. More hockey cards, please. So for us to help with the rakeback program, should we not sit on them? Should we use them? Yeah, use them, and you'll get better rewards if you use them. If you redeem them for sports bets and casino bets, you'll get a much better redemption rate than if you use them for poker rewards. And so that'll just be a win-win. The power says my wife's only with me because I have money. Tell her I lost all my cash and investments. See how long it takes for her to leave you. I'll try it out. Thank you. I'll text her after this. 8-7. I think it's worth a small bet. Final Jeopardy tonight. Hensley got correct. This country, including its territories, has the most time zones in the world. I don't know. I don't know. Is that Canada or country? Russia? I mean, I'm geography fish, so I shouldn't have even said anything. Yeah, Moonlight Master. First time we didn't get a glitch. Wow, France? Yeah, I would not have guessed France. I didn't know France. So France has a lot of islands, territories that they own, apparently. Good for France. I had no idea. I just got informed when I was saying I was sharing the where'd they go? The tournaments and the guarantees we got going on tonight. We'll revisit them. So these are all in late registration. The $500 free roll, only 24 more minutes to register for that. The 250 giveaway. The reason it's 312 is because we actually added $250 on top of the normal guarantee. So that's going to be a ton of value. That starts in a little less than an hour. The nightly $50 rush, hour and a half. It's a 1K guarantee. Yeah, if you're in Pennsylvania and you play like the $10, $5 MTTs, if that's in your price range, then there's just or the 50 for that matter. Like I guess 5 through 50. There's a lot of value tonight on BetRivers Poker. So Moonlight Master is saying WSP, yeah, there's Triton going on at the same time. That makes a lot of sense. Did not plan ahead for going up against Triton. I mean, I just wanted to be here when we launched, obviously. I believe I asked if I'll include the WSOP Pennsylvania bracelet on Sunday. Maybe that would help. I think that would probably help as well. I'm not set up on WSOP PA. I could. Um, I could think about it. I could think about it. Pretty good idea. Thank you. We do have two players here at the 500 PLO table. If you want to join, get that game going. You don't have to. Don't do it as a favor for me. It's if you want to. Fold, fold. AW says, yeah, it seems like a lot of stream watchers on Twitch anyway want tournament content. There are very few cash game streamers in comparison, at least I could find. Yeah, I agree. And I think it's like I've done well with streams in the past, even streaming cash games because, well, I have decent viewership, decent like subscribership on my YouTube channel. And also I tend to play high stakes cash games. So I'm playing like 25, 50 PLO and people are more interested in that. Um, but I'm not playing 25, 50 PLO. There's also a small effect. I don't think you guys really care about getting into the nitty gritty of a stream performance, but there's a small effect of I haven't been very active lately on YouTube, and just the way that I know social media algorithms tend to work, they don't get very excited about you being inactive. I think five is just a fold here on even to a small bet on King 10-4. So I think that could have something to do with it for sure. On Sunday, I will be playing some of our MTTs, so hopefully that will help. Yeah, Shaolin, BetRivers is just for Pennsylvania players right now. We're going to expand to other states, but rest of world, we were in a lot of other places with Run It Once Poker with this platform, but we shut down and decided to come to the U.S. under BetRivers Poker after they bought our company. Jar Jar Jinx asks when Delaware will get poker. Sorry if it's already been asked. Just got here. No, first of all, please go ahead and ask. If a question's been asked, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So Delaware is an interesting one because BetRivers is the only statement I keep saying because it's what I'm at liberty to say is we've launched in Pennsylvania first. Our plan is to expand into other regulated U.S. states when it's strategically viable. I don't know if that's the wording, but you know what I mean. We're trying. We're moving towards that. Not specifically Delaware, but moving towards expanding in other states, and Delaware is certainly on that list. Go ahead and see bets top pair here with Jack 10. Kevin Lunk asks, will you in Michigan? Same answer. How do you plan to compete with WPT Gold in January? So WPT Gold, I am familiar with it. I didn't know that it was not launched yet. I didn't know it was launching in January. Um, we'll see. I mean, I think that they're doing they're kind of competing in a different way. I'm going to check back Jack 10. I don't think there's quite enough value. There's a little bit of risk of getting check raised there, like kind of a lot of risk of getting check raised there. It's kind of a classic check raise spot. In king, let's raise it up. So we get some new players to our tables. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, our my goal with BetRivers Poker is creating the best software platform with the coolest, like the most user friendly platform, innovative features, and being the poker site that, first of all, cares about the players and does so by giving back all of our rake to the players, but also by communicating with the players and creating a dialogue. So, first of all, some platforms don't even have a monologue. They don't even speak about what they're doing and share kind of their plans and decisions with the community, much less a dialogue where people can engage back and forth. And that's really my role. My role is being the mouthpiece, to the community. Not just the mouthpiece, but the earpiece as well. So Queen 10 could go either way. Ace Jack, very nice flop for me. I raise, call the 3-bet, which is standard, and just calling this flop. I'm going to go with no raises on Ace Jack 5 Rainbow. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's what I'm going to do. Drake 3-bets. Arlo just rips it in for 500. I'm curious to see if we get to see a showdown here. Meanwhile, over here, how do you say that? Shiamara keeps betting. I'm going to keep calling. Queen's a pretty bad card. I lose to Ace Queen. I lose to King 10. I'm not going to be up against Queen Queen essentially ever, but plenty of Ace Queen. Now, though, when I face a check, it's not going to be Ace Queen. It's not going to be King 10 almost ever. And I just have a very clear shove. It's this is a spot where you need to like work hard to find enough bluffs. You need to turn Jack 10 into a bluff here. Otherwise, you just don't have enough air. And so, like, in her spot, I would probably overfold against most people because I just don't believe that they're going to do enough, like, do a good enough job of finding the bluffs. Ace 4. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have the best hand here, so I'm going to go for some thin value. Up against Jack X or hand that's given up. I'm wrong. It is 5-3. Kind of makes sense. That's a good play by Allison. I think I'm maybe not giving some of these players enough credit. I've seen some fishy things, but that was, I mean, yesterday I saw a lot of fishy things at all the stakes. Today, not as much, and more of it at lower stakes. Evan says the skin is nice. I say Justice says as a regular PA player last 5 years, this site is easily the cleanest, best looking, with much better configuration. Good job. I hope it catches fire, Phil. Also, I'm happy to give more 1K PLO action. Thank you very much. And thank you for the action yesterday. Today, I'm sitting at 500 PLO. You're welcome to join, and we can battle a little bit. I'm not going to stay up too late tonight. My bedtime is soon, but thank you for the kind words. I mean, like, I don't know, 500 PLO is starting. I'll open up the four table view. User experience is something that I'm just passionate about, and as such, as a company, we've been really passionate about it. We have some very, very, very talented designers. Um, and there's also the element of so there's design, which is obviously important, and then there's just kind of the way that it feels to play. Um, the animations, the responsiveness when you click on a button, the sounds, all of it, a lot goes into this. Funny story: when we were running once poker rest of world, we had somebody we had somebody on our team looking up kind of like stock sounds that we could use for different chip things, and there were they found stuff for everything. And I think at one point we even hired somebody to create some sounds for us, and I just ended up not liking any of it. And so I created all the sounds myself by using like chips and coins and different things and a microphone, and sometimes like modifying, modulating the sound to be what I wanted it to be. So like all the sounds on Run It Once Poker before, with the exception of like the checking sound, I think was came from me. Actually, like sitting there with a microphone and making sounds with things in the real world. And actually, we did get an expert to create the sounds for us, like a sound expert to create the sounds for us here. But actually, mine were almost as good. Ace King, bottom right table. It's funny because this would have been a value bet, but now that I'm facing a bet, I'm not very happy about it. I am going to go ahead and call. He could have Ace King. He could have a bluff. Usually, like when I can chop with value, I should call. But yeah, I wasn't feeling great about it. I don't have any diamond blockers. I'm going to make these tables a little bit bigger so they fill the window. Throw a nice hand out. Where'd it go? Nice hand. So yeah, all that stuff I'm really passionate about. And if you like give me any poker software and like I will I will tell you everything that I think is wrong with it. And there's going to be a lot. And even this, like, I think we still have some work to do. And we know we have some work to do, and there are features still on the list, et cetera, et cetera. I probably should have bet this, but check call's okay. Interesting to see the quick small bet. Don't know what to make of it, though. Seems like a clear check. Try to induce and just check call. Cool. Worked out as planned. I guess. Do I want to sit at a fourth? Now it's ace jack offsuit. I'm going to call. For now, let's stay at 3A. I still like to talk to you guys and go on my tangents. Top and bottom pair, gut shot. Not going to be folding. It goes check, check. I think on the ace, I can just check call. Meanwhile, with ace jack, interesting to face a flop check here. I'm going to start betting. I don't really know what to think. I'm going to small bet my queen five. Call and lose to two pair. Ace three on the river. Makes sense. Check call. So like I'm up against nines a lot. Ace. I don't know. Having the ace of hearts, I'm kind of getting a bad feeling about this spot. Like it, I feel like it's queen or better. For some, it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be the range, but that's just what I feel. Like some slow plays, some traps, some queen 10. That's just kind of what it feels like. I'm like very tempted to call just so I can show you that I was right, but maybe I'm not. Maybe it's 7-6 of hearts, and or not 7-6, 8-6 of hearts. He's made a good bluff, but yeah. Um, Interesting one here with the 8. I could bluff raise. I think I'm supposed to. It's hard to have it's hard to have a draw on this rainbow board. And I block top 2. I can fold out a lot of like ace, ace, king, 5 and stuff like that. Plus I have plenty of equity if he goes with it on the rainbow board. Field sound effect engineer. Heck yeah. Mm, Kevin. Kevin, you've had some very kind words. Kind of starting to believe your site's going to crush. You've been in this space so long, you know what's best. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know what's best. Nobody knows what's best, but or I mean, somebody does, but how do you know who? But I know I have some strong opinions, and I built a team of people who really care about poker, who love poker. And I think that goes a long way. Yeah, not in South Korea, unfortunately. Kim and Sword Music. Yeah, so the check out the post at if you're in the US, it's galfon.link/rake. If you're not in the US, you have to find my tweet that linked to PDF because the BetRivers site where I published the post about our rake system, and you can see it here in our well, I'll just real quick. Like if in the lobby, if you click on it, it shows up. I'll just call ace 3 suited. It'd be an okay 3-bet. Um, this post here where I talked about exactly what we're doing and why. If you could just read it all there on slow motion, then you've got it. Um, Flop the nuts with a redraw. It would be an okay flop to lead. I don't like to slow play a flop like this with the redraw. So I'm just going to go ahead and raise. I'm going to raise pretty big before, get some money in before potentially diamond hits or board pairs. And now I'm just going to pot and hope for the best. And the best would be him getting all in with a flush draw and stacking me by sucking out on the river. That's what I'm hoping for. That seems like a fold face. Tony says heading to Rivers Casino Pittsburgh tomorrow through the weekend for the Pittsburgh Poker Open. What's up with a hoodie or something? I'll ask I'll ask the team if they have any BetRivers Poker hoodies there. Actually, some of the team is watching. If you guys have a hoodie for Tony, hook it up. You can charge me for the hoodie. Trip2Meme says, what's the philosophy behind only allowing 100 BB buy-ins as opposed to most other sites that allow 40 to 100? Personally, I love it. Playing with a bunch of short stacks can be annoying. So yeah, this is actually a decision that I question sometimes because I'm so biased because I hate short stack play. I hate it so much. Um, the point of it is, and what we call it is just our just play system. So when you join a table, right? Let's say you want to join 200 NL, you just show up and you just click the button and start. and you can add as many tables and then as you want, and then click the button and start. You don't table select. You don't have to think about what who you have position on, which short stack is to your left, and so on and so forth. You don't have to table select. You don't have to bum hunt. You just press the button and play. So the just play mentality is like like let's get rid of all the non poker decisions, and like let's just play poker. Let's make poker about poker. Let's not make it about bum hunting. Let's not make it about table selection. Let's not make it about picking the perfect seat. Nice hand, Ember with the Jack Nine. Although Ember should definitely three bet the river with the second nuts after I check back the turn on King Queen 10-5. So some missed value there potentially. I think that's actually Ember. If you're watching, I think that's a big mistake to not jam that river. But yeah, so that's our idea. Like, I think getting an edge in poker should be about playing poker well. And yeah, controlling tilt. And there are some decisions regarding game selection, bankroll management, you know, lots of stuff like that. I small bet here to eke out a little bit of value. Now I'm going to call the raise. And I will be leading any river that improves my hand. In this case, I am, and then also a queen or a five. Those would be my bluffs. Um, but yeah, let's make winning at poker about being good at poker, not about all the other kind of things that like because as a pro, yes, I could use table selection to my advantage. I could use seat selection to my advantage, but I didn't want to. It was annoying that I had to think about that. I just wanted to play. Um, and I know not everybody's like me, and this is a policy that I really believed in, and I might have had bias, and my team, who were also poker players, might have had similar bias. But yeah, it's just like even the pros who gain an edge from all the kind of annoying soft skill stuff. Not that doing it, like, not that they're annoying for doing it, because if it's within the rules, do your thing. But just like all the stuff that's not poker, um, just get it out of here and let's just play some pure poker and not have to waste time and energy staring at the lobby, waiting for a perfect seat to open up, which you need to grab with your either your seat scripting software or your quick finger before anybody else grabs the table. Then it fills up. Moving seats when a certain short stack sits to your right because now it's not plus EV anymore. All that stuff is just it's not what poker should be, in my humble opinion. Poker should be about poker, and that's the just play way. Sword music also says it deters bots. Kind of deters bots. I mean, in this day and age, I would say that when we thought of this policy, which was quite a long time ago, it was one that would deter bots because short stack bots are easier to build. Today, I think it's less the case. Kevin says, if I started with $50 on BetRivers, hypothetically, how long does it take you to turn 15 to 10,000? How many times out of 10 do you reach 10,000? What would you say an average rec? What would you say an average rec timeline? You lost me with the word rec. Um, if you mean recreational player, usually that's not going to happen. But if you say an average timeline that it would take me, so first of all, my probability of turning 15 to 10,000 changes a lot based on how fast I want to do it or how certain I want to be that I can do it. So, I mean, for example, tonight we got a $500 free roll. There's the 25-cent buy-in. Where did it go? Yeah, the 312 50-cent guarantee prize pool for 25-cent buy-in. There's a bunch of like overlay and free rolls that can make it basically a certainty that you're going to make money if you just wait and play those good spots with a lot of overlay. So that's where I would start with a $50 bankroll. Is all like I play every free roll, every overlay spot, um, So I'd probably just start with MTTs. And then once I built up a bankroll, I still probably do that for like, yeah, the nightly Benjamin starts in 6 minutes. So like $100 buy-in that has overlay, I would go for that. But I wouldn't seek out the $500 free rolls that are worth like 50 cents a buy-in when one of my bankrolls up to like $1,000 because it's just not worth the time spent. I could do better playing in cash games. So then I would go to cash games, and long story short, I think I could make it I think I can make it a guarantee, um, practically a guarantee that I can get 10,000, but it would take a while. Um, Getting from 50 to 500, I guess, would be the first step. And I don't know, it would take a while. And like I would start with tournaments because I could just like risk very little while playing all the overlays and free rolls. But once I got into cash games where I'm really risking significant money to make significant money, yeah, it just depends how aggressive I want to be. And probably the strategy I would use here is to be pretty aggressive, knowing that if I drop back down to $50 or less, I could just go back to the free roll strategy and the overlay strategy. Um, at least if I'm, yeah, I mean, I that's our plan for a while at least. So that's what I would do is be a little bit aggressive with bankroll management, because I had that backup plan. If instead there were no, and here I have a gut shot in that pair, so I'm gonna call. Um, if there were no like if there were no free roll and overlay opportunities, I would want to do it in cash games. And with $50, I would start at the $2 buy-in, which is going to be, it's unfortunate. I would want to start at $2 buy-in is fine. I kind of would want to start at a $5 buy-in. 10 is a little bit too steep for my $50 bankroll. And we don't offer that right now. When we have more traffic, we will probably. By the way, here on the bottom right table, I very well could have bet turn, bet river. I was not paying attention because I was trying to figure out how I'm going from $50 to $500 to $10,000. Fold now. Um, but yeah, I would move up with like I would play with like 20 buy-ins and move up when I had 20 buy-ins, move back down when I had 10, and yeah, I mean I would do it. Queen eight, let's check back. Have kind of a deceptive draw. So we'll fire up another $10 so we can go select. Kind of round out the image with this beautiful swirling image. Double got shot here. I'm gonna call. Think. So I think that the raise should be pretty big here in theory. In practice, what do I think he's gonna call? Ace jack, 3-4, a little bit too low, for it to 3-bet squeeze here. Got called pretty quickly by 2 pair, I'm guessing. He had. Oh, wow. I could have gotten more from that. That was quite the cooler. Give this another few minutes before I hop out of the sit and go. Get in there, y'all. Sword music, any ability to play from Australia? No. Crypto deposits, withdrawals? No. US only. Pennsylvania. I mean, if you move to Pennsylvania or you visit Pennsylvania, you're good. Trip to me and says, love to hear it. It really makes no sense to allow anything other than 100 big blinds. Anyway, if you want to put up $20, play 20 NL instead of 50 NL. Cool to see this site be one of the first. Yeah, thank you. The other thing is it's a little bit of forced bankroll management for recreational players. So recreational players that, sit at, let's call it 50 NL with $20, might only have $40 in their account and they're playing 50 NL with what they think is two buy-ins, but it's actually less than 100 big blinds, 80 big blinds. Um, they're just going to go broke fast, almost always. So, I mean, it's a little weird to say forced bankroll management when you're talking about mostly losing players who are going to, or who are, eventually likely to lose if not for variance or improving. But it's really just enhancing their experience, making them more likely to play within their means, making their money last longer. So yeah, there are lots of reasons for it. King 998, I think is just barely too weak. Alex Musk, yeah, says, well, you say such a great take, and I'm saying, yeah, that I did have a great take, but it sucks to feel like you're leaving money on the table by just playing normally. Exactly. Like I hated that I either had to engage in these behaviors that I really didn't like and just like wasted time and energy, or not engage in them and lose edge to the people who are. Those behaviors being bum hunting, table selecting, table hopping, seat selecting, seat hopping, so on and so forth. So I call the three bet here with ace, jack, jack, nine, nut suit, facing a pot size bet. I think I just put it in now. I don't think there's much of a reason to wait. I just have good equity. I do like if he's bluffing somehow, then denying him equity is good. If he has like a combo draw, I'm in pretty good shape against most combo draws. Wish him good luck, and I hope he sucks out on me. Oh wow, he's in terrible, terrible shape there. And so that's a good example of the combo draw that is uh that is wrecked by my hand, which is why you want to fast play. And now just take the learning opportunity. If instead I had ace jack 5-4 with nut spades, it wouldn't be the worst to shove, but it would definitely be worse than this because I'm not getting the money in good as often. So a hand like that might just want to call. And the nice thing that can happen if you just call. All right, so I'm going to go all in here with ace jack, even though my hand sucks because actually, am I? Do I? So I was going to because like he shouldn't have a nine and I should have a lot of 9x, but why is he potting? I guess he's saying he has an eight. But he could have 9-8. I don't know. I'm a little spooked. A little spooked. But anyway, yeah, with like going back to this hand, with if instead I had ace jack, just try ace jack 5-4. The nice thing about calling is if I am beat by like king king with spades, which I'm doing fine against, on a turn six I might be able to bluff, or a turn 10. Like if I even if I don't want to bluff on the turn 10, it'll go check check. He won't bet again, and so I'll get a free card one behind and. So on and so forth. Also, if he's bluffing somehow, usually he's got a spade in his hand. He's going to rep spades. So if you don't have good equity to get all in, then or like if you're not going to get it as a favorite, which especially like as a crushing favorite, like I did with jacks there with nut spades, then just waiting is a better play. The R show, I actually do have that email. I've been traveling the last week and I'm behind on my inbox, but the team did get me that email and I need to talk to them about it. So thank you for reaching out. I appreciate it. And thanks for reminding me, by the way. Sport Music built his whole role on a free roll win of 250 on Pacific Poker way back in the wow, Pacific Poker. I actually so it wasn't before my time. I was around them, but I actually never played on Pacific Poker. So in a way, it's before my time. Jack 8 offsuit, a little loose in the big blind, but we're getting a bit of a price. Why not? Good flop for us. I'm gonna fast play. My master free roll and millionaire technically still possible, but way more plausible back in the day. I mean, uh, it's very possible, but you have to like I could do it because I have 20 years of skill built up also. So like I know that I could do it and it wouldn't be that hard. It would just take time. But for a lot of people, meanwhile, while you're managing this bankroll and building it up, you also have to build skill to continue to beat the next level as you move up. Like I have the skill. Um, so like let's say I'm playing 2 NL and then I move up to 20 NL. I have the skill to win at 20 NL, whereas somebody else might need to get better. And then 50 NL, I have the skill to win there. Here we get check raise with ace 10. I'm not going to fold yet, but I'm not thrilled. Jack 8, I'm going to give up. And here comes the cube sit and go. Threes, we're going to try to get in. Oh, no. Now we're not. I'm not going to call a shove with threes. Lose to king 10. Here we face check raise check on the queen. One option is to small bet, deny equity to like 9-8. Or like get value, but I'm just going to check. And if we face a river bet from Jensen, it's strange. We're looking at like this actually doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm going to call. Like, what is because if you have 10-7 here or 5-5, why would you bet this small? Uh, which is what he's kind of rep. Okay. The queen makes sense. Queen makes perfect sense. Nice hand. But it was also like a check raising queen 8 of clubs on 10-7-5 spade spade diamond is far from a standard play. So it's not that I wasn't putting him on any queen X, but I wasn't putting him on a lot of queen X because like the queen X that raise I would expect to be maybe like queen 9 with the queen of spades, but the queen of spades hit the turn. So how's he going to have it? Evan, you're welcome. Happy to take the time to answer. One of the benefits of not as many people watching the stream as I would like is plenty of time to answer questions and um, expand on my thoughts, which is something I struggle not to do. I swore ended up profiting close to 30K from the free roll. Well done. That's awesome. Kevin says, I'll deposit when site opens in Michigan. You have my word. Run well. Thank you very much. And I'm excited for you to get to enjoy the platform when we get to Michigan. Ace 9 offsuit. We got it. So like one thing, if you're looking at Hero IQ or you're looking at a HUD on a different site, look at the big blind. So this big blind is loose, 41-37, and the button is loose. So like if I'm thinking of opening a marginal hand, I don't want the button and the big blind to be loose aggressive players. So that was the thought process I went to when I did not raise the ace 9 there. I call 9-3. And I'm probably going to bluff the turn. Nope. He gets to. 4-4, 3 deuce. We'll lay that down. 5 deuce. We'll lay that down as well. Suited to the raise and the 3-bet. We're going to fold. And defend a big blind here with Jack 9-8, 4. Flop top 2. This is like the quintessential hand that gets overplayed by players who are new to PLO. You should not check raise dry 9-8 on this board. It's just a terrible. It's not a terrible hand. It becomes a terrible hand if you check raise and get called. You're like behind the range that calls you. Now, of course, when it goes check check, I effectively have the nuts on the turn. I'm going to pot. Two straights get there on the river. Still have a good enough hand to value bet. Do I have a good enough? No, three straights get there. Excuse me. 6-7, 6-4, ace 4. It gets it gets pretty thin. I'm gonna go for the small bet though. I think I can. Queen 10 offsuit. Um, min raise fold, I guess. And feel good. Okay. I'm not gonna min raise fold to the min raise. Interesting. This player's min raising. This player's been tight. I guess I've been tight too. I did, by the way, if you heard me talking about sounds earlier. I didn't make these current sounds, but I was the one reviewing all of them and picking. So sound design is not a not a skill of mine, but a passion of mine. I think it's a big part of a game experience. I guess I'm gonna check. I have everything. I'm actually just gonna pot. I think it's the way to make the most money in this spot. There's like that's a. I mean, I'm four tabling, so that's the simple way to put it. But you have to think about all the potential lines and all the potential hands that you're up against. I think potting's going to do a little bit better than the other options. Here with 9-6 against somebody who's been tight, let's just rip it in. Okay, he's not that tight. And it's not looking good. We're going to be out. Let's see if our glitch run good continues. Oh, we didn't get the glitch. It's too bad. Three, easy fold. 5-6 suited. Jensen's three betting us. Jensen's pretty loose aggressive. Although the three bet hasn't been that high. I am going to peel with 5-6, see if I can flop something fun. That's not fun. Turned something fun though. I think I'm just going to come out firing. I don't see a reason not to. John Doe says, this is my site, correct? My meaning me. So this is your site, correct? It is, depends how you want to look at it. I built this site. I mean, I built the team that built this site. We sold it to Rush Street Interactive RSI. And I'm still working with them as we launched at, I think this is good enough to shove, but it's a little thin. No, it's not thin. He's not going to have a flush often enough. And I like shoving a hand like this that doesn't have a heart because he's going to use a heart blocker to call. I mean, sometimes 7-8, but I mean, I'm not going to run into a lot of 7-8. Anyway, so I'm still working with them, but you know, technically, I don't own the site like I used to. I mean, I said technically, just literally. It's not really a technicality. I'm gonna go ahead and lead on 6-5-3 against button open. I think you'd see a lot more small bets here, but I went with big. Yeah, I'm gonna go with pot. Nice, nice. So 5-6 at first I was like, didn't want to shove, but that's the PLO player in me. He says nice hand, which I think means fold. I'll say thank you, unless he calls and loses, and then I will be polite and say, OMG, sick. Okay. The PLO player in me is like, wow, straights, three straights got there, flush got there, but and no one hold them. They don't have those. The combinatorics don't quite work like that. I have to stop and remind myself sometimes. Well, it looks like I'm up a buy-in on every 500 NL table and PLO table, and unfortunately, I'm going to hit and run because appreciate the question. Thank you. Um, they're actually kind of unrelated in that. What I mean by that is I love to play poker. Always have loved to play. I still love to play. I don't have opportunity these days to play poker, or at least not a lot of opportunity. Um, I'm an online cash game player, a high stakes cash game player. Yeah, maybe some live cash games, but the live cash game scene is all private. I'm not invited, and the online high stakes scene is either private or semi private, or like if I want to play from the US, I'd have to VPN, which I'm not doing. Um, so I just don't have access to games that are good for me to play. So I would love to play. I love playing when I get to play like for real in the games that I love to play. I love playing when I get to play the games I love to play. What I mean by that is I love playing when I get to play the games that I play. Um, but those aren't very accessible to me right now. And the games that the high stakes games that are accessible are like high stakes MTTs, and I've never been an MTT player. I don't like MTTs, so I don't play those. And right now, what's driving me is working on myself and helping others work on themselves and improve. So I've gotten a lot more into my own personal development and improvement, and then coaching. Um, Within poker, I launched Beyond the Game in August, just a few months ago, and am teaching poker players how to navigate kind of their life and career as poker players and level up in kind of all areas, but mostly have more success in the game. And I am finding it in some ways hard work and stressful because it's new to me, but also really fulfilling and really exciting. And so that's what drives me right now. And in some ways, I'm sad that I don't have games to play like I used to. In other ways, I'm thankful for the opportunity that it gave me to work on something new. Because if I kept having access to, I don't know, if there were like, if I had regular access to online 100, 200 PLO games, for example, that were decent, I would just be doing that. I never would have ventured into these new areas. Call the three bet with Queen four bottom right, and I was definitely going to check rip the flop. Now I'm going to check call. Uh, weird hand on the top left. This is not a hand I don't really understand what's going on. It's a fold. I'm actually going to check King 10 with the King of Hearts. I have a weird feeling. I'm going to check call. I'll just give up 10-8 actually. Good bluff with Jack 10 there. A lot of people just show down the Jack, hope to win. That 10-8 was not going to work, so pat myself on the back for the good give up. Tony, yeah, I'll truth be told, I don't know how we're gonna find you to give you a hoodie. I don't even know. I actually think BetRivers, there are plenty of BetRivers hoodies, but BetRivers Poker hoodies, I don't even think we have them made yet. I'm not sure. I got a BetRivers Poker hat that was kind of made custom for me, and a BetRivers Poker T-shirt that was made custom for me, so that I could wear them in some like some videos I recorded. And so, while I would like to be able to help you out, and I said that that I want to get you a hoodie, I actually don't know if it's practical in the near term. So maybe come back to the stream a few months from now and we'll find a way, or head to the poker room and just say, hey, I want to support BetRivers Poker online. Do you have any gear? And see if somebody helps you out. But I'm not sure if King 8, I'll check down, hopefully win a showdown. I don't have a way off the top of my head to make it happen. Very likely to happen. BC Cesar, I will be streaming tournaments this Sunday. Sword, thank you very much. I'm enjoying chatting with you too. So I'm going to keep check calling with ace king, and I'll check call river as well. He could be value betting similar hand or slightly worse hand, and obviously could be bluffing. John has shown a fair number of bluffs thus far, so I'm not considering folding this hand. Take it down against another bluff. I shouldn't snap call if that rubs it in. But obviously, I was never folding the ace king. I do seem to always have it against John. Sorry, John. Thanks, Cesar. I'll just call you that. That's easier. Yeah, I mean, I if I'm playing online, I enjoy streaming. Add some fun. Here I three bet tens. No. Yeah, I three bet tens. Sorry, I confused myself. This These players are no, they're not new to the table. Why does it say they're waiting? I'm a little confused, to be honest. Fold Jack 6 here to Ryan. I guess I'm folding tens. And get to the bottom of this waiting mystery. 9 deuce suited. I don't know if I should have defended that. Everybody's back in a hand here. Let's 3-bet queen 10, 8-7. It's iffy. It depends how loose this Peter's playing from the small blind. But using position, you can't go too wrong. I'm gonna fold, actually, mini fold, but I'm in it. Small bet bluff on king king 6 rainbow. Called 8 on the turn is interesting. So I could try to take this to showdown, or I could make this a 3-barrel bluff. It's a pretty bad hand to bet the turn and check the river. I am gonna give this one up this time. I don't think the 8 blocker is crazy relevant. Bet Jack 10 here and be somewhat likely to bluff the river. Face pot. Kind of interesting because he's only repping a king or better. He's not going to pot queens here. So I do beat like 6x and other random bluffs. How's he played? 3-bet 16%, so he's been aggressive so far. Let's see it. I was trying to think about how likely it was that he would raise the flop against that small bet with a king. And I thought he'd just be very likely to. So I don't know. I get to these spots right. I mean, like, I didn't own him by any means. I made a read, and maybe he's bluffing, maybe he's over bluffing, maybe he's under bluffing. I don't know. But I don't like beating the BetRivers players. But I have to try. I would have been okay with beating Ryan here, but I didn't. Glitch, glitch, glitch. Hey, not as much as I got before, but we'll take it. We're approaching my bedtime, guys. If one of these nights we're approaching my bedtime and we have 800 viewers, then I'm going to keep streaming. But we've been that has not happened yet, and so I am going to call it quits. I feel pretty bad hitting and running, but I'm taking solace in the fact that I have an edge and I'm helping them. We'll check call again with Jacks with a 4-5. Thankfully we miss, and hopefully we lose this hand. Nice hand. So thank you all for watching. I'm gonna yeah try to sit out at the worst times for me. I'll play these blinds. I'll play my big blinds and then sit out. Um, yeah, thank you all for watching. I enjoyed chatting with you, and I will see you not tomorrow, but Friday. I'll be streaming again, and then um, on Sunday I'll be streaming. So Friday night, 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Eastern. I think it's 6 p.m. Eastern, and then Sunday I'm going to start earlier, like 4 p.m. or so, and 4 or 5, I forget. We're gonna put out a schedule. Well, we might put out a schedule, and hop into some tournaments. So you can play some tournaments with me on Sunday, and I'll be back Monday as well. So I will see you all soon. Thank you for the questions and the kind feedback. Kyler, the best way to get good at live cash, I would look at training sites, not solvers, unless you're playing very high stakes live cash. I would look at solvers later. That's something to work up to, and something that I think until you have a good like knowledge base or support system around you with peers and coaches, and you've watched courses and things like that, I think you're more likely to misapply solvers than apply them well. So don't worry about solvers yet. I would say get a course that is focused on getting good at cash games. And depending on your skill level, if you have not played, like if you've only played recreationally here and there, um, Foundations is a course that I made on runofonce.com that is that means $50 and will help you kind of get your foundation. I mean, for $50, I think it's a steal. We made it that way on purpose. And then for $100, there's From the Ground Up, No Limit, which is for cash games. It's also very good. Also on runofonce.com. And yeah, so I would start there. If you look at those and it feels too beginner, then I would still look for a course, and maybe it's not on Run It Once if you want an advanced cash game course. But yeah, I think course is the way to start. I guess I'll play this Ace 3 hand. Actually, I'll just fold during the hand. Here you go, charity. Thank you all for watching again. I will see you in 2 days, and I'll see more play on BetRivers Poker. Until next time, this is Phil. Take care and good luck.